Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. I am Mr. Mike, and you are listening to the GamezAttack podcast here at OldFreakyGamer.com. This is episode 105, as I call this episode Industry Turbulence. How's it going, everybody? Yeah. You like that theme song? That was a quick theme song, too, I gotta say. That's not one of my longer theme songs that I pick out. This one was quite short. I could have re-looped it and stuff, but I didn't. This song is called Game Music. So it's Game Music. It's by The Mountain. That's who it's by, The Mountain. And you can get it on pixabay.com if you like to get interesting chiptune-ish, all sorts of different kinds of music from there that you might want to use for your video projects, podcasts, and much more. All open source, and if you give them credit and all that, they usually let you do it. I think if you charge for your stuff, see, I don't charge for any of my stuff, so of course they're going to let me use it for free. But if you do something like a project where you charge for something, or you make something that is going to be a paid for product, then I'm sure you got to work out a deal with these individuals, because they do have the copyrights with Content ID and all that stuff through YouTube and all that. Everybody, welcome to the GamezAttack podcast, a podcast, mind you, about video games, gaming, the gaming industry, hardware, all that great stuff, and sometimes the not so great stuff, because, got to talk about all that stuff. And like always, this podcast, this show, everything that I do on the OldFreakyGamer.com, the network, everything is always free. Free of ads, free of me begging you guys constantly in the beginning of the show to purchase stuff or support the sponsors or this or that. I'm not going to try to sell you people. It's all free. Now, if you see ads or hear ads or whatever and on the devices or whatever you play it on, like if you're playing this video version of the podcast or whatever of my videos on YouTube and you get ads from YouTube, that's YouTube doing it, not me. I don't even have the ads on, but YouTube could put them in if they wanted to. It's not like I have any control over that. It's a free thing. If any other podcast audio podcast places, like if you download this podcast as an audio form, like on, I'm going to just say Spotify, Amazon, Google. Well, Google is no more with their audio podcast, but just for YouTube, but like Apple Podcasts, stuff like that. If they insert ads, those are their ads, not mine. And please let me know if they do, so I know to go no to them. Otherwise, you can download freely this podcast and give it to anybody and everyone freely. You can just go to my website at OldFreakyGamer.com to download it. Download the MP3. Download to your podcast app player of your choice. It doesn't matter. This stuff is open and open source to freely distribute to everybody that wants to watch my ugly puss, hear my ugly voice, and listen to some truth. Like I said, I do not try to sell you on stuff, even though I always mention once in a great while that I do have a Mr. Mike's tip jar at OldFreakyGamer.com and a link on my YouTube channel for my Mr. Mike's tip jar if you want to tip me a little something. You don't have to, but if you think my content is worth it, you can do so freely. And it goes to, the links go to either my my website first, and then I think it goes to the Square page, to the Square Squarespace. Well, not Squarespace, but the Square financial page where it accepts donations and stuff. I do not do Patreon or anything like that. I don't even try to make money. Like I said, I was going to do t-shirts and all that stuff, but I'm thinking, I don't know, do I really? Do people want any t-shirts and hats or something for me? If you do, if you want like my logo or if you want me to create some interesting gaming stuff, you see some of my artwork on the upper, if you're watching the video, you see my upper left hand stuff and you see my videos and stuff. You see what I do. And if you're interested in some stuff like that and you want me to put some stuff somewhere that you can purchase, like artwork or clothing or whatever, let me know. So I know if I should start doing it. Cause I get t-shirts made. I make them for myself. Like I got one I got two here behind me hanging up. I know I shouldn't be doing this because I'm doing the podcast and this is video and not audio. But if you're looking at the video form, and I know you won't be able to really see this because of my great fake green screen thing, but I got my game through shirt here. That is me. Oh, can't see it. Oh, this is already bad. So, but you can kind of see it. That's me. I drew me. I drew that myself. That's me. I drew that on the computer. You know, first I took a photo of myself with the controller playing it, and I did me, and I did the artwork and all that stuff. And I had it. I had the T-shirt made for me through various T-shirt making sites, and I'll have to clean that up later. Oh boy. Oh man, there goes. This was bad idea. It's a bad idea for me doing this on a podcast. Oh boy. Hold on one second, folks. This is epic fail on my part. As you're watching the podcast, you're not seeing nothing going on behind me, but I'm trying to throw this over my chair here because my chair goes up to here over my head for the backing of my gaming chair in here. But yeah, if you do want me to create stuff and you want to buy like a t-shirt, hat or something, let me know. I'll work. I can eventually do it if I ever got time. I don't got time. I work for a living. I got a house. I got stuff to do. And then, I want to sit down and play some fucking video games once in a while, I'm not just sitting around picking my nose and doing nothing, I got stuff to do. I'm a busy man. This is my hobby. Doing this podcast, playing video games, making gaming, awesome fucking gaming videos is my hobby that I like to do. And it is something that is so beautiful that I get to do, that I'm so lucky that I get to do. It doesn't matter. Now you go to those other places where this is their so-called jobs, and they have to bark at you and beg you all for 10, 12 minutes or even longer on how to try to sell you stuff and more stuff. And then they got 20 ads. Then they start doing a podcast and then they're like, oh, we got to go to another ad break. You will not get that from me. The only break I go to is a potty break. I'm not giving you an ad. I'm not trying to sell you every 10 seconds. I'm not trying to annoy you if we got this in the store. We got this in the store. We got mugs and this and blah. Okay, that's fine that you do that. But if I'm listening, and I've been listening to a couple podcasts, and they've just been really pushing merchandise and really putting in so many commercials, I'm sorry, it gets me annoyed. I don't mind if you have a couple commercials here in the beginning or at the end or in the middle, but if your podcast is just tons of commercials here, you talking about more stuff to sell, and then more commercials, and then you talk a little bit about something else, and then more commercials. I just really don't like that. It gets me right out. I don't want to be listening to ads when I'm working and stuff. I really don't. I hate ads. I'm sorry. I'm not an advertiser. I don't even promote this podcast or my videos very well. I got one more new subscriber onto my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get more than 100, but that's just me. But what I am planning on doing still, and I talked about this, I think on my last podcast, or I think maybe on the last podcast, either that or on the last live stream I did. I do plan for this upcoming staycation that I'm going to do, and my birthday and all that, mostly for my birthday, but it's going to be before my birthday when I do this in June. I am planning on doing a special giveaway for people who subscribe to my YouTube channel. and I'm still thinking of what to do, but I think I got what I got to do. I just got to think about what kind of cool prizes I want to give out. But I think what I'm going to do for the prize pool, and I'm just throwing this out there, I think I'm gonna give out some like Xbox gift cards, like $20 Xbox gift cards. I'll have like a handful of those or whatever. I'm thinking of giving out some of my games that I have. Um, still wrapped up games, like brand new games. I think most of them are going to be like Switch games. I got a lot of Switch games that I might give out. Maybe I'll give out some other stuff too. I don't know yet. I got to look at what prizes or giveaways I can give out. So my whole thing is, my prediction is, I got to finalize all this. I got to find some time to finalize all this. If this all goes according to plan, I want to get a nice little prize pool. I want people to, and I'm gonna kind of advertise for this. I'll put up a mini advertisement or something, a little what do you call it, a short on YouTube and stuff, and I'm mentioning it here, but I'll mention it in my next podcast as well because I do one each week. I will do like, when you subscribe to my channel, and I hope you stay subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure when you subscribe to it, you hit the subscribe and you show that you're subscribed. Take a screenshot of your subscribed and on my pod and your little whatever your name is on YouTube or whatever. And then I would want you to send it to me, the screenshot, via email to me with your home address, your address that you would want your prize, if it's a physical prize, shipped to you. If it's a digital prize, I will just email it to you. Like if it's like an Xbox gift card or something, I might just buy it online and just send it to you. Something like that. If I do something digital on top of that or whatever I pick out for you. But if it's a physical thing, then I'll have your address and I could just send it to you. And no, I would not be keeping your email address or send you any, like I said, ads or anything. I'll probably just forget and delete your email afterwards. But basically, I would just want to use it as a recognition that, oh, you actually subscribed. You actually are able to show me this stuff. And it's the only way I could think of that would be easy for me to do a little like giveaway kind of a contest thing for people who subscribe to my channel, and see if I can get some more subscribers to my channel, and hopefully more people just look at my stuff and I can just open up to more people. That's all I want. I want to open up people's minds and creativity and stuff, and people to watch more of my videos, and then eventually go to OldFreakyGamer.com, my website, to just watch more videos and subscribe and listen to the podcast and enjoy stuff. That's all I want to do. It's nothing. Like I said, I don't make money from this stuff. I just pay a lot of money for this stuff. I just got a bill for $200 plus for, I forgot which it was. It was either for Podbean or for Squarespace. I think it was Squarespace or something. And I think the Podbean one's going to come up as well. And then that's another, $100 something or $200. So that's like $400 a year I'm spending on podcasting and website creation and stuff like that. It's expensive, but it's worth it to me because it's a nice little hobby. And I don't expect to make any money from any of this stuff. I just do it for fun. You know what I mean? So my point is, I just want more people to watch my content, listen to my stuff, and enjoy it. That's my whole premise of, since I started this whole thing, and before, when I used to podcast, in the early days when I had over a few thousand people subscribed, but because I am stupid and I'm bad at marketing and all that stuff, and I got rid of my old Juju 2Cast stuff back in the day. I got rid of all that stuff and I started wanting to just do pure games and nothing else. So I did the games, the OldFreakyGamer.com and stuff like that, and OldFreakyGamer and stuff like that. And yeah, that's the joke right there. But like I said, that is something I am predicting, and I hope people will enjoy and be able to do it. Like I said, I'll see when I'll be able to do it. Hopefully I can do it in the next, either this weekend or during the next week or something like that. We'll see. I'm going to really push for just this weekend so I could just get it all. It shouldn't take too long. It's just, I got to find the prizes I want to do or giveaways I want to do. I'm just going to write my clear, easy rule set, which I'll post on my website as well, but I'll also post it on the YouTube for the video and stuff, and the whole giveaway thing. And then we'll see what we see. And like I said, folks, like always, enjoy. So, like I said, this is a gaming podcast, not an advertisement podcast, but that was I guess an advertisement, but it wasn't an advertisement because it's not like I'm selling anything to you. I'm just giving you stuff. I'm a giver, not a taker. The only time I take is, like I said, for my real job and stuff. Anyways, gaming wise, like I said, I'm talking about my staycation coming up in June. That is coming quickly. That's only, 3-ish weeks away before my staycation comes. I think it's like 3 weeks, give or take a few weeks. Let me see. I can actually just check my calendar right here on my computer. So I got the rest of this week, next. So yeah, about a little over 3 weeks, give or take. Because I think my staycation starts on June the 6th. So yeah, that's June the 6th. So you got the rest. Tomorrow, because I'm recording this on Thursday again, on the 14th of May. You will be hearing this on the 18th. You'll be hearing or watching this on the 18th of May. So it'd be like 2-3 weeks given from where you're left off of, give or take a few days. But my staycation starts on Saturday the 6th. So that's when I would predict on doing stuff like the contest or the giveaways and stuff like that. But anywho, that's when my staycation starts. I am also predicting, and I know this is all me finger crossing on top of it. It was supposed to be just a relaxing staycation, but I think I'm going to be doing some jacking. And I don't mean jacking like the proverbial jacking. I'm talking about like jacking out some concrete around my house to put new concrete in and stuff. So, because everything's getting pushed back on my orders and stuff, especially for now when I'm trying to get, plants planted and everything's been pushed back. I finally got my big truckload bag of dirt. It came in a big bag for my dirt, so it keeps it dry from the rain and all that. But also I'm waiting for some plants that didn't show up because they mislabeled them and stuff, and I guess they got to get me new plants and reship them. I don't know what's going on with that. If I don't hear nothing from them in the week or so, I will call them back and I'll be like, where the motherfuckers are my plants? Where are my plants? But I wanted to get all that done because I wanted to get some planting done. I want to get I have to dig some path for some more, move some drainage around, which will take a little bit, and I'm going to do it this weekend, hopefully Saturday for some of that stuff. But also I got to wait on the new plants so I can plant some other plants. But then, like I said, eventually I got to start jacking out some stuff before June, my staycation, because then I want to do a dry pour of some concrete from my walkways and stuff, and then do the dry pour and do all that stuff because I'll get all that shipped to my house. I got a big pallet of concrete coming to my house, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Also, I'm hoping that the weather is going to be nice and not rainy or too cold, stuff like that bullshit that's still going on because it's still cold right now. And I'm really upset because I'm like, why is it only 40 today? But it's supposed to be rainy, but I didn't think it was going to be 40, but it's supposed to be hopefully 60 and maybe 60 plus or 70 on Saturday this weekend. Fingers crossed. And that's coming from this podcast so I could get, like I said, some of the planting and stuff done first. But also I want to play games during that week. And plus it's my birthday week. Plus, I'm going to chill, sort of. So a lot of stuff for my staycation in June, in the beginning of June. And then, I don't know. Is there any movies coming out in the beginning? I know there's the Toy Story movies after I get back from my staycation. I know that's coming out that time. Toy Story 5. But I'm planning to play some games during my staycation as well, and before that. But mostly, I think what I am planning on what I was thinking about playing, and I thought mostly about it when I was doing my album art for my podcast here and stuff like that. Of course, I'm going to be playing Forza Horizon 6 because that's coming out in a mere few days, and you're going to see a first gameplay of that this week, this week for Forza Horizon 6. And then this Friday, it's hard for me to say this because I gotta remind myself that this is being recorded prior to this upcoming week. So, so right now, as I'm podcasting, this Friday, which is tomorrow, is gonna be another live stream, GameOn live stream of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I will be playing a nice ton of on this Friday. But from the Friday, from this podcast that goes up on Monday, this upcoming Friday, I will be streaming Forza Horizon 6 on GameOn. So GameOn will be a Forza Horizon 6 fun-a-thon on that day. So I will be happy to stream that time. So yeah. Yeah. And then in the middle of the week, it's going to be my second and final episode of Game Through, which of course I will be posting up the game as I forgot the game already. Death Come True. Yes. Death Come True. That will be the second and last episode of that, where I play the FMV game Death Come True, which is a Japanese sci-fi horror / mystery adventure game, whatever you want to call it. I call it whatever. It's interesting, but it's like whatever. But that's for this week. And like I said, I'll be doing a first gameplay for this week as well. Will go up for you guys of Forza Horizon 6, but I will be playing that game beyond even the streaming and stuff like that, because that's one of those games that I know is going to take up a lot of time for me to play, and I'm going to have a lot of fun playing some Forza Horizon 6, because it's going to be in Japan this time, folks. And I do love, and you know me, Mr. Mikey here, I do love me some Japanese. So Forza Horizon 6 being in Japan this time, I am really happy about. And I'm going to move this because this is annoying me a little bit. I think, yeah, there we go. It's better to have this over Mario's foot than the Forza Horizon 6. It just looks bad. That's me being bad. Yeah, but Forza Horizon 6 is going to be one of those games that I will be playing through the staycation and all that stuff. Also coming out very soon in June. I think it's also June 6th or a little sooner than that. I forgot. It's coming out really soon in the beginning of June as well. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Yeah. When is that coming out? I had it on here, and then I forgot what date it was. I'm loading up my Xbox app. I'm sure it's going to drop me some frames or something. Let's see. When does it say it's coming out? When does it say it's coming out? Wow. The Microsoft Store should be a little faster than this. I'm sorry, Microsoft Store. This should be a little faster. When is Rebirth coming out? 6/3. So 6/3. That's a Tuesday, right? Yep. No, that's a Wednesday. So 6/3, June the 3rd, which is a Wednesday, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth will come out or unlock for me because I already got it pre-purchased. It says 19 days away. I already have it pre-installed on my PC here, which then I will also be doing probably a live GameOn stream of Final Fantasy Rebirth on GameOn Live, of course. But I don't think I'm planning this time to do a whole. I'm just going to continue to stream this game on GameOn Live, at least not right away. Maybe I'll do it later, but I plan on playing this mostly on my Xbox Rogue Ally X. That is my plan, because I really did like playing the first one a little bit on my ROG Ally X. So my Xbox ROG, I got to say Xbox ROG Ally X, because there is, I think, original ROG Ally X. So I'll just call it the Xbox ROG Ally X. I did like playing the first one on my Xbox ROG Ally X. But I'm thinking, well, I'm going to play some Rebirth on here as well, and I might as well. And I am interested in continuing my ventures in Final Fantasy VII because I thought that game was amazing, and you guys saw me play that every Friday because it was so amazing, and I had so much fun playing it. I'm like, well, I might as well continue with this one, and then when the third one comes out, I'll finish it up. Like everybody else, when it's brand spanking new, and I'll finish it up with that. So I am very happy about that. So those two games alone are going to be taking up most of my gaming time in my staycation. Plus, I'll probably be playing some Powerwash Simulator too. And what else do I got? Oh, Vampire Crawlers. A couple other games there. Maybe I'll be doing some trucking for streaming or for videos and stuff. Ball X Pit I haven't been playing for a while. I got to get back into Supermarket Simulator and TCG Card Shop Simulator again. I gotta continue my simulator games. I haven't done those in a while. Plus, there's other games I might want to play. Like there's Command and Conquer I haven't played. I haven't played RTS in a while, and I got that as well. Plus, a ton of backlog games. But mainly, it's going to be probably Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Forza Horizon 6 and Powerwash Simulator 2 are going to be my main top games for my staycation because why not? Those games are fun. I'll be sitting out in I'll be laying out in my beautiful deck porch up front, which I already got the awning up. I still got to put the outside blinds and stuff around my deck porch so it makes it look nice and it's nice and closed so I could just be all snug inside there. But yeah, I got to do that stuff, but yeah. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm going to be gaming out there, laying out there, doing that stuff. I should still have videos going out. It's not like I'm going to be doing more stuff, more content for the site. It's just going to be a little lighter. It's going to be really easy. I'm going to try to take it easy, even though I'm going to be doing concrete work and stuff during that time. But by that time, I'm hopefully in the next week or two, if I can get all this planting and replanting and stuff done here, and then because I'm getting everything else shipped to me, I was going to go pick it up myself, but I'm like, well, I'll just pay him a little bit of money. It was like $75 or something for it to get all shipped to me. I'm like, instead of me renting a U-Haul trailer for my vehicle and getting it all done and hitched up and going to the place and picking it all up and taking it all here, I'll just get it all delivered here, and then I could just take it, put it in my garage, get it all set and ready, and then I'll jack out all my concrete that I need to jack out. I'll put up my perimeter, jack out my concrete that I got to jack out, and then I'll do some dry stuff, and that's going to be awesome. I might even do a little video of that and show you guys of my dry pour. I don't know. Or just pictures. Pictures are something. I don't know. That might just be social media stuff if I do it on my BlueSky and X account. Because I like that stuff. I watched many dry pours out there, and it was just fun. It was just fun, and it seemed a lot easier than me just having to mix. Even though I got a big giant mixer, I just would have to buy a lot of what it call it buckets to put cement in, but I'd rather just dry pour it. I hear it does a remarkable work. Plus, I'm going to have some rebar and stuff in it. It's just jacking it out first, getting it all, you know, edged out, stuff like that. And then, you know, I got a bag. I got the special bag where you can put all the concrete in there, and then they can take it away from me. A lot of good stuff on that. But yeah, game wise, like I said, get back to the games, Mr. Mike. This is a gaming podcast, not a construction podcast. But gaming wise, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Forza Horizon 6 are on the top of my list. And of course, like I said, Vampire Crawlers and Powerwash Simulator 2 are my backups for that. If I do decide to play other stuff, like I still got to try out some stuff from my fake Wii modes and stuff like that, which I wanted to play Boom Blocks and stuff like that, but I do have my Wii still, but I just don't want to hook that up and do all this stuff. But I do got these Wii bars here that I can just USB plug into my computer, and I think that can track. It's supposed to be able to work with that. I should try those out, see if those work or not. Those are really cheap, but I should try those out, stuff like that. Because imagine if I can start playing Boom Blocks and I can stream some Boom Blocking. Remember Boom Blocks, people? If you ever had a Wii, Boom Blocks was the shit. I loved me some Boom Blocks. I loved a lot of Wii games, but Boom Blocks was the shit. And I got the emulators and stuff, and I think Boom Blocks would be my shit. So yeah, that's what I'm planning for the staycation. Excuse me. Got a coffee. Hold on one second. Excuse me, folks. You didn't notice a thing, but I had some freaking scratchy itchiness in my throat, and it wasn't going away. And I had to try to cough and gargle and everything to get the freaking stones out of my throat. Holy shit. It's like gravel, man. But I already did talk about upcoming game streams. Like I said, this upcoming game stream that I'm doing now is, of course, well, before you listen and watch this podcast, of course, was Assassin's Creed Shadows. But this upcoming Friday, from where you're watching and listening to this podcast, it is going to be Forza Horizon 6. So be on the lookout for that. So that's what I'm planning on doing. And then game streams in the future beyond that, who knows? Maybe it'll just be more Forza Horizon 6 and stuff like that. That's pretty much what it is. I am, I still got a lot to do and to play in Assassin's Creed Shadows, but like I said, once you unlock most of the map, and now it's just me doing and I've been unlocking like little key points too, little question mark points and stuff. I've been going to trying to find, unlock or discover all these areas all over the map and stuff, because it just makes it a lot easier for me to play the game, with my companions and myself, I should just say, as if I'm Naoe or Yosuke, and then I could just do the missions and have fun and kill a lot more people and finish the game that way. Because like I said, I did that in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but then going forward beyond that, like I said, that game will be done in a nutshell, but going forward beyond that, it's going to be probably me doing a lot of streaming of Forza Horizon 6 and other stuff, which is good, because it's always good to play other games. It doesn't always have to be the newest, the latest, greatest games, but it's going to be good games. But that's what I'm thinking about right there. And talking about games, like always, why don't we talk about the games? Because I already talked about that stuff. And before we get into me talking about how the gaming industry's been stepping on its own toes lately for a few people, and a few games being accidentally put out there, or somehow getting out there, and how this stuff happens, and all the other stuff going on, like maybe Nintendo doing some price raising of a certain console that is out in the market, or consoles, I should say, because they're also said the original is getting a price increase because of hardware is hard to come by nowadays, and that hardware costs are going up because it's more costly to make stuff. And we'll talk about that stuff, but let's talk about the games that I, Mr. Mike, have played in this past week, because why not? I think that is a great thing to start off with. So why don't we get into that now?
The games that have been played in the past week.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Me, doing that voice in a different tone. Yeah, so the games that I played this past week, I already talked about Assassin's Creed Shadows a bit. And like I said, my character is Naomi, and I've been playing some Yosuke as well. He's just a beast. He just boom, swing, swing, boom, with that big old super mallet of his. He could use the sword and a bow and arrow too, but using that big club that I have him with the spikes on it, it just really tears people up. It just flattens them. They turn into mush. And it's just so beautiful. But the thing that really sucks though, that I've been, and I don't know if I mentioned it at all. I think I mentioned it a long time ago once, but what really sucks is that Naomi as a ninja lady, now Yosuke can do almost anything except for jumping, going to the high heights very easily or something like that, where he has to go. He can only climb. He can't do like a grapple and stuff like that. He can't do very little things, but he can use like all the weapons. Naomi, she can't use a bow and arrow. She can't use a bow. And that really kind of pisses me off, because I know ninjas know how to use bows and arrows. They show it in stuff like the Wolverine movie and stuff like that. They show when they're taking down Logan, and they're shooting arrows all into his body when he's at that in Japan, trying to get to the tower and stuff, and they're just shooting tons of arrows through him and trying to stop him. Those are all ninjas doing that. And I'm like, how come Naomi doesn't have a bow and arrow? How come she can't use a bow and an arrow in this game? She can use the malice and everything else, but not a bow and an arrow. And I felt like, why not? Why? Why can't she use a bow and arrow? Because I think they make the bow and arrow thing in this game pretty good with Yosuke, and I'm like, why can't she do that? I don't know. It was that kind of seemed like a little sore spot for me with the people at Ubisoft with this game, but she could have had a bow and arrow. Could have made her even more sick and badass. She's already as sick and badass as I think she could become for now, but yeah, they're both badass. And like I said, even though I'm just going to point to all the question mark tabs now that I'm finding all over the map and unlocking points of interest and stuff like that, it's still just fun doing that, even though I'm not doing the main like story missions or side missions or anything like that. And I am still killing a lot of people, and it's just like, okay, why not? I haven't really even played much of the main game yet, but my characters are super high level. They're all, I think she's level 55. Don't quote me on that. She's close to it. And Yosuke is also that level as well. Both badass. Both got it. Like, I unlocked like all her, I think it was called, was it Ninja or Stealth? No, what was that? I unlocked all her one ability already. Didn't give me no achievement for it though. It should have gave me an achievement, but I unlocked like one whole set of her ability already, and yeah, and she's just great. And it's like I said, even not even doing the main story and the parts and stuff like that of the game yet, I'm still having so much more fun in that game, and it's crazy. It's crazy that I'm just so into this game, and I don't know. It makes me feel like maybe I might want to play the DLC after this, buy it and play the DLC, but I don't know yet. Maybe if it's on sale, I'll buy it and play it, because I know Ubisoft always has sales for everything, and things become on sale very easily and quickly over from at Ubisoft for their Ubisoft games. So maybe, possibly, I might buy the DLC for Assassin's Creed Shadows after this. I don't know. I just got the feeling I want to just continue. But I don't know how the story's going to end. I hope she just gets her revenge and Yosuke gets his revenge and they kill all the motherfuckers that they need to kill for their family and stuff to keep their honor or get better honor or whatever, you know? And I know it's kind of an old game now, pretty old game, but it's still so much fun. And I always say this to people. People complain about how games are either too long or too short, and they're all too expensive and blah, 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 blah. But I'm like, for a game like this, and you can have so much fun in, paying whatever price it is now, it's probably like $30 or less right now. Who knows? Don't quote me on that either, but I haven't looked that up, but I'm sure it's like 30 or something. That gives you so much content, so much to do, so much going on in that game that it is so worth whatever price Ubisoft charges for it, because they give you a lot of content for a game like that, and it's so beautiful. It's such a great game, and it's great to. And like I said, I've been playing that game remotely from my Xbox Series X, playing it on mostly my Xbox ROG Ally X, and I just been having a blast playing that game remotely from it, and it works very well playing remotely from my console to my handheld. So take it from me. Now, note I do have a mesh network system in my house here, and super fast Wi-Fi and Ethernet and internet and stuff like that. So I do have, and I have wireless 6E. I don't got wireless 7 yet, but I got wireless 6E and all that all over the house. So I got strong connection all over the place. So that helps as well on that kind of stuff for remote play and stuff. But I don't know. I still don't hear too many people talking about, oh, I remote play from my console to my PC or my handheld or anything like that, even though you could do that. And then you can technically play your console games on your Xbox ROG Ally X's and ROG Allies or whatever. And people just don't understand that, or they don't know how to do it or whatnot. But it's quite good at most of the time. Now, there are times when the remote play just doesn't flat out work, but it mostly does. Mostly does. And it's a great game. Assassin's Creed Shadows, folks. Still playing, still loving it. And eventually, when I beat that game, I could cross off my list and move on. Maybe that Black Flag Resynced game, because it seems like Ubisoft really wants me to buy that game now, and I never really liked the original, and I think I got it digitally. I got to look that up. I got to look on my Xbox ROG Ally, or not my Xbox ROG Ally. I got to look it up on my Xbox Series X and see if I got a digital copy or something of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I know I had that game. I just don't remember if I had it digitally or if I had it physically once and I gave it up. I knew I had that game because I played it, but I didn't like it. But still, the resynced one looks really good. Really good. So, yeah, there you have it for that. A game that I finally did play and beat. Well, I shouldn't just say finally play, but I've been playing it. But that I finally beat 10. Finally, after all this time, all these years, since the PlayStation Vita, when I first started playing this fucking game, and then stopped for a while, and then picked it back up years later to start it up again on PC and play it again, and finally to beat it not too long ago. Okay, so the game that I'm talking about, if you didn't know, Persona 4 Golden. I have finally fucking beat Persona fucking 4 Golden on my ROG Ally X. I beat it once, but kind of twice, because it lets you go back and then you can go and beat it again a different way. got basically, well, kind of the good. Okay, I got the bad ending first, where the little girl is dead, and we move on, and it goes to the future. We move on, and then I leave, and everybody's sad, and blah 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 blah. And then I go back, and I do the good thing where she reawakes and she's alive and all that, but she doesn't come. She isn't able to come see me on my way off, but she's alive, so it goes forward. Everybody's sort of happy, and then I go and I end up, and it's just a basic butt ass ending, which I kind of understood. And then I'm like, well, how do I get the ending where I gotta battle the real killer? Because it's still in these two endings that I got. It's still foggy. It's still doing it, and I'm like, well, what did I have to do? Because the first time I pushed the guy into the TV, which gave me the bad ending. And then the second time, I let the guy free, and I didn't push him into the TV. And I got the good ending, but yet it's still the fog and stuff, because I would think I would have to go back into the TV and fight, the detective, the assistant detective, because he's the real killer. I didn't know if you know that after all these fucking centuries, but he's the real killer. And I'm like, okay, well, how do I get to that point? But I didn't bother looking it up, because I'm like, well, I got the bad ending, I got the good ending. I'm kind of done with this game. I don't want to keep going through all this stuff to just figure out how to go and battle this guy and get the other ending. I was kind of done with Persona 4. As long as I seen credits, I was good. And I seen credits twice in Persona 4 Golden. So I was double good on that. And I'm like, okay, I know what happens. I know who the real killer is and stuff, because I watched the anime, of course. So I know how that ends, just like that. And I'm like, okay, I'm done with this game. I am just deleting it off my system. I wash my hands of it like that. I'm done. It's good. I had my fun. I played so many fucking hours of Persona 4 Golden, and with all the stuff that kept dragging on and dragging on and dragging on, I gotta say, this old school Persona 4 is like, whoo, a lot of stuff. A lot of side stuff that I just did not want to do and whatnot. It's definitely was not like a Persona 4 Royale or Persona 5 Royale at all. Persona 5 Royale always had some interesting shit to do. This had a lot of downtime and a lot of me trying to just fast forward through the days and stuff, just trying to get to the next dungeon to go through once, because I didn't want to keep going through dungeons and stuff. I didn't need to go through dungeons constantly. I just wanted to go through it once, beat the bad guy, beat the bad persona for the people, for one of my soon to be friends or allies in my team, and just move on and just look at what the game does story wise compared to the anime. And yeah, it's good. It definitely makes me not want to play Persona 4, whatever it's being called. What is it? Remake, reload, reloaded, whatever it is. Yeah, it definitely doesn't want. I definitely don't want to be playing whatever reloaded, whatever. Then that upcoming remaster of Persona 4 is going to be. I have it on my list, my wish list, but I have no desire to purchase that right fucking away. I'll wait till that's like either goes to Game Pass down the road or becomes like $14 or something, because I have no fucking, I don't want to go back into Persona 4 anymore. I Persona 4'd out completely. I got my jest, I got my game, I had fun playing most of it, and I'm done with that. If I'm ever going to play a new Persona or another Persona game, which would be new to me, I'd play Persona 3 Reload, which I do have. I actually have both. I actually have two Persona 3s. I have the original, I have the Reload, which of course I'm going to play the Reload. Or I'll play Persona 6 whenever they announce and bring that game out. But 4 and 5, I'm done with those. There's a lot of Persona. That's a long RPG, or JRPG, I should say. And like I said, it's been years in the playing. You know, I told you guys I started playing Persona 4 Golden when I got it on the Vita a long time ago, got to a certain point, then I stopped playing it. And then years later, when it came out on Xbox for PC and stuff, shit like that, then I got it again, started playing it again, and I finally beat it now. Just like how Final Fantasy 13, I played it up to a certain point, fucked up, lost interest in it, came back to it freaking years later when I'm an older man, played it, loved it, beat it. Go figure, hey? Isn't it funny where I'm a younger Mr. Mike and I'm like I think I'm in high school still. Yeah, I think it's during either my high school or a little after high school. And that's when, yeah, I think it was a little after high school, give or take. And that's when I had all this stuff. And it just really, it was me going, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to play this shit. What? I was mostly into shooters and open world mercenaries games and stuff like that. But I was like, and Gears of War and stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? What's these JRPGs and all this shit that I can't understand? And then it's like, and I tried them because I'm like, oh, I'm interested in Final Fantasy. And then I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not. And then years later, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this again. Oh, I am into it because of course, there's so much fucking Final Fantasy out there. And now with 7, Final Fantasy 7, the remake, which I played through and beat and loved. And I'm gonna love Rebirth because it just continues the fucking fun story that I'm playing. I want to try Final Fantasy XVI. I got that. I got the other one with the car. I got all these Final Fantasies I can start playing again. It's like shit. But for the Persona side, I've been playing so many different fucking Persona games. Like I said, 5 Royale. Then I played Persona 5 Tactics, and I beat that as well. And then I played Persona 4 Golden again and beat that. And it's just like so much of that stuff. So fucking much. And it's crazy because it's like a lot of these games and series that I just did not really catch on to back when I was younger. Same thing with Assassin's Creed. I played the very first Assassin's Creed. Never really got into it. I fell off of it. Tried Assassin's Creed 3. Fell off of it, even though I still own Assassin's Creed 3. And then I tried Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I hated it, and I fell off of it. And then years later, I hear about how good Assassin's Creed Odyssey is. And then I get into it, and I'm like, oh, this is a fucking crazy, awesome-ass Assassin's Creed game. Played the fucking shit out of it and beat it. And then now I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, loving it, and gonna beat that fucking shit. So years later, from when I was younger to now that I'm older, almost 40 fucking years old, and I'm like, now I'm understanding this shit. Now I'm enjoying this shit. Fuck yeah. And then I'm like, oh, I'm burnt out on this shit because I played so much of this shit. I know I should just go into different game cycles of play different games and stuff and then go back to them. But I'm just crazy like that. But super happy that I beat Persona 4 Golden. I could cross that off my fucking bucket list now of games that I had in my backlog that I never thought I'd ever beat, but I did. Played a little Microsoft Bubble. You already know that. We talked about that many times. I don't have to really get into Microsoft Bubble too much on the PC. I just play it when I'm watching something or I'm waiting for something. Like if I got a video editing here or rendering, I should say, not editing, because unless if I got AI doing my editing for me, I edit my own videos, but I have it rendering. And then I got a video playing over here, like a movie or show or something online. And then I'm playing some Microsoft Bubble and popping some colored bubbles and stuff. Some snooding. Doing some snooding there. Hades 2 started that because that came out a little while back. Nobody really talked about it too much, even though everybody was so excited to play it. I tried a little bit of it because I didn't really care for Hades 1. Hades 2 has a God mode that you can unlock if you're really, really bad like me. Still, with God mode, I'm really, really bad. But I guess every time you die, it ramps up to make you even more God mode like ish. So hopefully it just makes me so powerful that I just beat it without any hassle to it. So I'm kind of interested in Hades 2 now because of the super god mode thing. And I'm hoping it works out for me. And I hope that game gets really good for me, or else I'm just gonna drop it again. But I wanted to give it a try because it is one of those games. It's a hack and slash kind of a game. What do they call it? Isn't it like a roguelite or something like that? Is that what they call that? Those types of games, roguelites. It's one of those types of games, and it's hacking slashing type of game, and I wanted to give it another try. I might as well. It's on Game Pass, so why not? So I've been playing a little bit of that, just a little bit so far. Just quiet. I just tempted it a little bit, which was okay. I was doing better than I thought I would in it. Of course, Powerwash Simulator 2, just been power washing the rock climbing place. I think it was a rock climbing place. And that's what I'm power washing currently in that and continue with that. And then this final game on my list of games that I've been playing throughout the past week. This final game, which I cannot wait to get back into and finish it up because it's a shortish game, so I should be able to finish it up either by the end of this week. I should be this out. I'm not even going to say it. I should finish it up by the end of, as I am podcasting throughout the rest of this week, I should be able to fucking finish this game up because why fucking not, Mr. Mike? It's called Mixtape. It's got some mixed reviews on it, and it's a coming of age game, partially a game. I personally made a review of it on Xbox on the Xbox PC store because everybody was, not everybody, but most people were downing it, calling it not an indie game, saying it was garbage, it didn't relate, blah, 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 all stupid things and stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But it's still a great game. Even though it's not really a game, it's kind of a game. It's a type of, it's a piecemeal type of a game where it's mostly you're going through stuff. The game's doing the game thing. It reminded me of the Hellblade games. You know, those like Hellblade 2, Sona Saga, and stuff like that. That's what Mixtape reminds me of. But it's also in a different kind of realm and time thing. You know, it's about these teenage adolescent people, like these two girls and this boy going on their journeys with music and stuff like that. The main girl that is the narrator and all that, doing the breaking the fourth walls and all that stuff, saying she's going to be like a record, record DJ producer, whatever. She says she wants to get into the recording industry. Executive or whatever. She's talking about all this stuff about the music and what it makes her feel of, and it takes you through all these moments throughout their past and present and future and stuff like that, and it goes through a whole thing of like, it makes, like, I already talked about that this is like a game like Sona Saga or Hellblade, the Hellblade games, mostly Hellblade 2-ish, but it's also, you know, has a lot of the Big Lebowski kind of themes in there and how they do the foreshadowing and the back to the what do you call it, the flashbacks and stuff like that in the game. It's got a lot of corny jokes and stuff. It gets a little adultish in a way here or there, but not too adult. But you know, that Cassandra girl, she seems like a sluttyish, or to be sluttyish kind of girl. She seems like, with her overly uptight parents, which one is a fucking narky cop, this girl seems like she's just gonna end up getting knocked up someday. I'm just saying it. She tries to look extra slutty. She just, even though she seems really calm and, you know, and stuff like that, she gets to that rebellious thing, and I'm like, girl, you're gonna get yourself knocked up and your parents aren't gonna like that. No fucking way. But it's like a coming of age game, and a lot of people are like, well, this ain't the 90s or the. People want to try to put this game to a decade, even though this game I can clearly say is decade-less. It's for every decade. They're trying to give it a little bit of everything. They took a piecemeal out of a lot of decades, people. So get over it, especially with the songs and stuff. People got to get over that bullshit. But basically, it's a decade-less game that they're just putting it in their own fake decade. Because guys and gals out there that are complaining and whining and that are just people that are just, the haters that always like to hate and that's all they do is hate on everything. This is just a game, folks. It is fictitious. It's not real. It's just a bunch of made up crazy fucking bullshit that just it's an artistic type of game. It's not even that much of a game. You're just picking and choosing, looking at stuff. You do a few things. You do a lot of skateboarding. You do some flying through the you guys do some flying through the fields and stuff, stuff like that. It is really just a game of nostalgia meets a lot of interesting music tracks and stuff. Some you may know, some you might not know. And they all work out for me. The narration's pretty funny and the characters seem pretty funny. Especially the stoner dude and stuff and the main character. And then, like I said, Cassandra, she seems like she's going to get herself knocked up someday. I'm just saying, because that girl she just looks like that type of girl that will get herself into a situation like that. But it gets real. Like, they do a lot of drinking, or underage drinking. I think they're smoking some weed. Who knows? They're anti-establishment. You got all the stuff. They're skateboarders, stuff like that. They break into stuff and all that. It is pretty fun. For me, it is fun. It tugs on my nostalgia heartstrings a bit, even though this doesn't have a decade to it or anything like that. Like I said, it's decadeless, but it reminisces to what my past was, even though I don't really think that I did too much rebelliousness in my past. I was kind of a bad boy brat myself back in the day, and I did smoke and drink. Well, did I really drink? I didn't really drink because I never liked drinking back in the day because it all tastes like throw up and cough syrup anyways. But I smoked back in the day. I did stuff. I broke into stuff. I did a lot of stuff when I was young, kid stuff, teenage stuff like that. We all could go through that. And I listened to a lot of stuff like this music and stuff and, did my own shit. And I can relate to this. And I thought this was a pretty good thing that this people made of this game. And when I first saw it a long time ago, when they did the whole mixtape trailer and stuff, I was like interested in it with the games and stuff. But I didn't know it was going to be this trippy, go through, the decades kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, this relates to me in a little bit. I really dig it. I really dig what they try to make. Like I said, it's an artsy game. It's definitely not going to be for everybody, but you don't have to complain about it. You don't have to hate on it because there's a lot of haters. A lot of haters on the internet. You didn't know that, folks, but there's a lot of hate and haters on the internet. And haters will love to hate. And you know what? When all those haters love to hate, there's a few people like me and maybe you guys that'll go on there and post a great review and go say, hey, this is not going to be for everybody, but it's got a little bit of nostalgia from Big Lebowski to Hellblade 2 feel and all that kind of stuff and gameplay and this and that. And, like I said, it's a game throughout the ages. Like I said, all the music isn't from the same era and some of it's from before and after, but this is an era-less game. This game has no era to it. It's made so that any era might be interested in this game and be interested in what it has to do and say as a game. And I got to respect that. And it's a really short game. Apparently, I'm already almost 3+ hours into it, but I actually take a little extra time because I'm looking at other stuff and doing stuff. So, of course, my playthrough is going to be more than what it said it was going to be for 4 hours up to. But I played a big chunk of it. I played a big chunk of it. I don't think I have that much left to do in the game, but like I said, this game is so crazy and so reminiscent to what I like. I am enjoying Mixtape quite profoundly. And if you got an open mind, an open heart, more so an open mind, and you like to play weird, interesting games like this, and you got Game Pass, this is a game for you. Now, if you don't have Game Pass, like if you're on PlayStation, Steam, or something like that, this game will cost you around $20 to purchase it. Now, for like a 3 to 4 hour game that's got this nostalgia and stuff like that, and you're probably wondering, well, why am I paying $20 for this and not like $4.99 or $7.99? You got to understand they had to license some soundtracks and stuff in this mixtape. Now they're not going to have all the greats in there. They're going to have some, and they're going to have some lower budgeted music and things that they got from probably whatever European country that made this, but they put a lot of heart into it. And there's a lot of interesting tracks, and they got to pay for all those licenses and stuff for that. And if you watch my first gameplay of Mixtape, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I got to say, I like Mixtape. I listened to a lot of podcasts so far, and there was a bunch of them. Well, mainly one podcast. And I'm going to say this is the podcast I keep bragging on because they're the ones that over advertise. They're always advertising for a bunch of crap that they're trying to sell. And then they got these other crappy advertisements that mean nothing in the game industry. And then they advertise some more and more. And then they talk shit about Mixtape. And they're the one guy that doesn't barely have any teeth left and is bald and stuff. And you probably know who I'm talking about. That seems like looks like he's going to be a killer someday. Or psycho killer, I should say, someday. He's like, I don't get it. I don't like this game. And a lot of these people just didn't like this game. And I'm like, I like this game. I like this game. And other podcasts said that same. And some of them said, no, the game was okay. One podcast, the one guy I was surprised by, but, because he's a music liker, he said he liked the game a bit. And then, and some people did say they liked the game a bit, but then others said, the game is, I don't understand it. I don't like the main character talking, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, because you're not getting into the game and you just don't understand it. Maybe it doesn't relate to you because this game might not relate to everybody. It relates to me in a big way. And I understand a lot of stuff with what was going on in this game so far. And I'm like, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. I can see that. Oh, this has got some killer hits and beats and stuff. Okay, let's play some more of this. So Mixtape is going to have mixed feelings with a lot of you guys. It's going to have some mixed results. It's going to be mixed on how you want to play it or you don't want to play it. I think you should give it a try. If you got an Xbox or a PC or something, you got Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate or whatever, that's what I mostly say to people to get if you get Game Pass. Then this could be, you can download this and play this game because give it a try. It's just like those other little games that I would be playing, like Kiln and stuff like that, or trying to think of the other game with the lighthouse, Keeper, stuff like that. So interesting games, not games for everybody, but interesting games. And I like to sometimes play some interesting games, So that's all I got to say about Mixtape. I was going to say more, and I'm sure more people would think of me saying more about this game, but it's a decent game. Now, the skateboarding parts in this game aren't so hot, but, it's no Tony Hawk or anything, but they're decent. Everything's decent in here. And I could play it on full max epic graphics and stuff, and it does have a little bit of ray tracing in certain areas, so it looks really decent with the lighting and shadows. So you got to say give it for that. But yeah, Mixtape. I give you to via Mr. Mike style. I like it. I like it a lot. And you know what else, folks? That was all the games that I played in the past week. So yeah, those were the games that I played in the past week. So before we get into the games news or the talk news now, I was going to talk about these leaky games. So handful of games. Now, mind you, this isn't just one, but a handful of games have been getting leaky, apparently, and in interesting ways. And I'm wondering if it's because of the game, producer or the game publishers and stuff accidentally putting these games out, or if it's the people, the game where the games are residing or sitting, at the third party places like Amazon or eBay or something, or like these Walmart codes. So apparently during the week, and this is where I call upon how the industry is taking another big hit. This is like another like minor hit in the groin for the industry, going, what's the fuck's going on? Why are all these games being accidentally leaked and getting out there and into hackers or other people's hands and stuff for these people that might not be wanting to play these games, that or not wanting to buy these games, I should say, not play, but buy these games in the first place, and they just want to rip them off and stuff. Those kind of people. And for stuff like Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, which apparently through Walmart codes became playable on Xbox. Apparently people are bracing themselves for spoilers on that. So apparently some people or fans are bracing themselves for the spoilers after some Xbox owners who bought the game digitally from Walmart found they were able to download and play Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, which is coming out I guess May 22nd if you just buy the regular edition of the game, but you can play it early if you get the deluxe edition. You can play it on May 19th. This is also another game I'm very interested in. I would like to get Lego Batman: The Legacy of the Dark Knight on PC, but I'm betting it's not going to be on there. Let me see here if it's going to be, or if this is just going to be an Xbox game, because it's mostly, they only do it like Xbox games, but I would like to buy it for Xbox for PC if they let me, but they usually don't. So let's see here, because they got a lot of games that they do get on the PC store of Xbox, and they should get games like this. But because you got certain publishers out there that don't really want to push their games out on everything, it's hard to do. So let me see if this is available for purchase on the store here. And Xnay to no snay. So Xnay to no say, folks. So it's not available on the Xbox for PC store. So I'm guessing Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight will be only on probably Steam and Xbox, PlayStation, stuff like that, and Switch too. And so, but not for Xbox for PC, which I'm like, why are these companies still doing this? Why is Microsoft still doing this stuff? I know they probably had some deals already in the works for a while now, but why not put it out everywhere, especially the Xbox for PC store, which would probably get you guys a little bit more financially happiness. I don't know. But it's kind of funny that this happened. I wonder, let's see here. So blah, blah, blah stated they obtained a digital code from Walmart, which then redeemed on their Xbox, let them download the game. Once the ready to start message flashed on screen, they were able to jump in and play. Blah, 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 blah. Published images to go. Oh, let's see here. I can't. I forgot my place. They were able to jump in and play, publish images, back up their claim. Lego Batman of the Dark Knight officially launches May 22nd, but also deluxe edition owners can play it from May 19th. Let's see here. After a Reddit post caught attention, others tried to repeat the trick, and some reported having success. One person stated they were able to play. Said they were able to play all night, although the game did show a required update available. Some who have made use of the trick are disconnecting their Xbox from the internet in a bid to avoid an update that would prevent the game from being playable early. Okay, do everything you can to, be able to play it up to the point, I guess. It seems Warner Brothers Games or developer TT Games have now clamped down on the exploit, although it's not entirely clear what happened. Was this a preload error, as Forza Horizon 6 also suffered a big thing this weekend? Or were incorrect codes used by Walmart for redemption on Xbox? I wonder how that shit works, because you would think it's just a set number of codes that Microsoft and people give them and to put out and, to see and play and stuff. And then it's like, whoa, what's going on here? Yeah, that's crazy. So this other one, which I was just talking about, Forza Horizon 6, also got leaked out there. So before I read the update, so basically in a statement published to social media, the Microsoft, let's see here, Microsoft-owned studio asked fans to wait for Forza Horizon 6's official release date rather than pirate the game on PC. We are aware of reports that a build of Forza Horizon 6 has been obtained. This was through the Steam database or something, like it was unencrypted or something like that, apparently. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Why would that be unencrypted? And why would the Steam database have no security to avoid piracy and stuff like that? I don't know. Rather than pirate the game on PC, I already said the result, and its releasing can confirm it's not the result of a preload issue. Playground insisted we're taking strict enforcement action against any individuals found accessing this build, including franchise-wide and hardware bans. We encourage fans to sit tight for the game's release on May 19th. So that was the updated quote of them. So apparently Playground Games has threatened to ban anyone who it detects has accessed the leaked build of Forza Horizon 6 and denied it emerged as a result of a preload issue. So it wasn't their fault, apparently, even though some people are saying it was. So original story here, Forza Horizon 6 suffered a significant leak after an entire game was reportedly made available via an unencrypted Steam preload, which how would that be possible? Why would people do something like that? I know individuals make mistakes, but that's a big, hefty mistake that you don't want to make. And that's kind of hard for me to understand that, but okay. According to various online reports, 155 gigabytes of unencrypted Forza Horizon 6 files were spotted on the Steam database over the weekend, 4 days ahead of the early access and 9 days before the full launch, suggesting that files were made available on Steam proper. As a result of the leak, Forza Horizon 6 was made available to download via the piracy websites. Now, note, I can understand if they have the game fully available for people that are insiders or doing media coverage, or if I was able to get a code myself, if they would recognize me as just a person that does reviews and stuff like that, I would get a code early and be able to play this game early, but I'm not lucky enough to do that. And I don't go calling out for that stuff either. So I just get the games, buy the games, or in this case, I'm going to get the game for free via Game Pass when it comes out. So it doesn't matter to me. So it appears that the leak stems from the Forza Horizon 6 preload, which they deny that was the issue. So this is the original thing here, which in normal circumstances allows players to download the files in an encrypted format. When a game goes live officially, Steam will push an update through that decrypts the files so players can use them. It looks like the Forza Horizon 6 preload and its decryption update were released early. Okay, that's kind of weird. Well, the damage is essentially done. Microsoft stated that, or they said that Microsoft may be working to plug the leak. One prominent Reddit thread detailing Forza's availability on piracy websites saw an opening post removed by Reddit's legal operations team. According to the online message, there are also reports that people are streaming the game early, although Microsoft will no doubt be keen to ban those that do so. And so its original release date is May 19th, which is next week. Early access starts on May 15th, which is tomorrow, Friday. I am not paying to play it early, so I don't care. I'll wait till it comes out officially, because I think the whole pay to play early bullshit that a lot of these game developers, including mainly Microsoft, like to do is a bunch of bullshit, and they should just have it equal across the board. But they like to do this little fake bullshit where, oh, pay to play early, even though they're on Xbox Game Pass. That should be day one playing, but it's not, because if these people get to play this game early before Game Pass people like me can play it, that doesn't make no fucking sense to me. You know what I mean? But anyways, it's just I don't like it where you got to pay to get your stuff shit earlier than everybody else, and it's like, just put it out the same day as everybody else. But they know they can make a little extra money because they know there's people out there that really want to get it and play this game early and stream it and blah 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 blah. And it's like, okay, we're creating monsters here. We got monsters here. I always hated that. I think I did that once where it was like a $10 thing and I can get the pre-order, which was a Game Pass anyways. And I think it was for Forza Horizon, like 4 or 5 or something. Must have been 4 or something like that. Where if I paid an extra $10, I got it early, and I did it once. Otherwise, I hated that pay more to get your character early. They did that in Killer Instinct with the characters, and I really hated that thing. And I hated the people that paid extra to get their characters early, even though I paid to have my character unlocked. And if the character's available, why don't you just let me buy it and unlock it right away? But no, because it's a fake thing that they created to suck and siphon more money out of loyal Xbox and people's patronage for certain games on certain systems and stuff. And I always hated it and hated them for it. So this kind of backfired on them, even though they are doing Uber bans on people and they're banning people for life who they detect and find out who's still playing it, who's got it early, blah 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 blah. And they got every right to, because people are pirating this game and people are playing the pirated copies and not paying for the game. Even though they said they don't have the full game on there, they got the base game on there, but there's another update that people got to download to get the rest of the game. It just makes me like, if you would have released the game the same day as everybody else, we would not have these fucking problems. But no, Microsoft and Xbox need more money. Greedy, greedy, greedy. That's why you're in last, because you need more money. Anywho, that's not the only 2 games that have been leaked, pre-leaked, or pre-started early. Another game, a little game called Subnautica 2, gameplay appears to have leaked just days after the Forza Horizon 6 and Lego Batman. And this is an update on this story as well, that Subnautica 2 developer Unknown Worlds has confirmed the leak of the unofficial builds of the game in a statement, which I'm like, how do people get these unofficial builds of games? But maybe it's people say for this game, for Subnautica 2 and Unknown Worlds, it could have been an insider bullshit going on there because they've been having some issues with crafting their parent publisher company. There's been some beef going on between the 2 of them. So possible sabotage or something. I don't know. But it sounds like it. Sounds a little more like it for here. But anywho, well, there's no detail on exactly how the game has leaked. The highest profile video game release in just a matter of days. Unknown Worlds. Well, it's out now. I can get it on Game Pass right now for PC. At least it shows me I can. Unknown Worlds has stated that its underwater venture had now been distributed through unofficial channels. So that's 3 games right there. 3 big high-profile games being in the wild in the whole we're going to rip you off things. The studio's full statement follows. We've identified that unofficial builds of Subnautica 2 are currently circulating online. An Unknown World spokesperson stated these builds are incomplete development versions that do not reflect the content or gameplay experience being prepared for the official release. Files distributed through unofficial channels cannot be verified for safety or stability, and certain features or content may not function as intended. The complete Subnautica 2 early access experience, including multiplayer support, as well as all future patches and updates, will be delivered exclusively through the official builds of our partner platforms. And that Subnautica 2 is well, right now it's meant to arrive early access for early access of Series X and S and PC this Thursday, May 14th for early access. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. 3 games, 3 high-profile games have been hacked, unlocked, and desecrated to the pirates on pirate sites. I don't think Pirate Bay, because I don't think we have a Pirate Bay. Or is Pirate Bay still around, or is it gone? I forgot. I haven't heard about Pirate Bay in a long time. Anywho, that on top of the whole other issues going on, which I'll talk about in the news with Mario and stuff like that and other stuff, that is bad, especially for Microsoft Microsoft/Xbox trying to get like some extra goodwill for their games and gaming and stuff now for Xbox Studios and stuff like that. Try to get Xbox back into the game, as you will, and a big title that they know will make them a lot of money and stuff and make the franchise and stuff bigger and everything else. Forza Horizon 6 is really a big, cool, going to be really fun game, and it's just got ousted. How does that shit happen? And then, this kind of shit gets these companies and publishers all scared and thinking for the next time. And then they're like, oh, we're going to really lock this shit down. And then you find out that you got de novo on this shit. And then you got 20 different kind of key locks and stuff and bolts and shit. And it gets really crazy later because it's just like, oh, now they're getting really too overprotective of their stuff. And it just makes everything worse. And I just really think that there should be a middle ground to all this stuff. But people will do what people do, and they'll steal, pirate, and all that bullshit. And then it's like, well, what are you going to do? what are you going to do after that? And if these people cannot be stopped, if people are going to still break the law and do all this stuff because they don't feel that like they have to pay for stuff, there's not much you can do about that. There's really not much you can do about that stuff. And it's sad. It's a sad situation, folks. People should be able to do and get, and people like that are ripping off stuff that is paying for people's livelihoods, people. That game, that Forza game, that Batman game, which I'm also interested in, the Dark Knight thing, TT game, TT games. And of course, Subnautica, those are hardworking men and women trying to make something, not just because it's fun and not just because they love doing it for their jobs and stuff, but they're also doing it so they can put bread on the table. It's already hard enough for people to make a living as video game developers. They don't need this hacker fucking bullshit from these stupid hackers that are fucking malicious as hell doing that stuff. If you want to, hackers want to hack, go hack China. Go back and hack Russia and China and people and get them down to their knees. Why are you fucking with us? Unless if it is China and stuff doing it. But I bet it's American people or Canadians or something like that. I always hear Americans and Canadians and stuff. But still, why fuck with shit and people's livelihoods? It's a sad thing. It's a sad shame that we have that in this country, and I hate reporting on it, but that's what happens. And it's weird how this shit happens too. It's like, oh, we got the full game. That's why I think if we're going to put any protection on this game, there should be like a paywall thing. Like, hey, if you didn't buy this game and you didn't enter in this, remember key codes? Remember games used to have key codes? They should have like a 6 or 8 digit key code where you have to put in if you can play some of the game, like it'll unlock and you can play like a little portion of the game. But if you don't get that, if you're not playing it or if it pings and it says you haven't played it, it'll lock up until you put in the key code or something like that to unlock it or something. You know what I mean? That's what these games should have. I hate to say that, but that's probably the best thing these games should have. Or a delete yourself feature in these games. So if people are pirating the games and then people load up the game and triggers a security thing because it knows it hasn't been purchased by this person or anything, and it just self-deletes itself in your hard drive and stuff, that'd be pretty funny too. That'd be a good thing. I don't know if there would be allowed to do that or be considered what do you call it? Not a terrorist act, but an illegal act or something like that. I don't know. If the hackers don't have a moral compass, why should anybody else have a moral compass? You know what I mean? It's like you do if you die if you do, you die if you don't. It's crazy. But I hope they all are success. I hope they're all super successful games, especially Forza Horizon 6, the Lego Batman game, and Subnautica 2. I hope they're all a big success, even with the few pirators that are pirating the games, because we all know if these pirates are going to pirate these games, we all know that these people weren't going to pay for these games in the first place. I actually had a friend, still do have this friend, who used to, back in the day, have a pirated Xbox, and he used to have like pirated games on his Xbox and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, you can just buy the games. Oh no, they're too expensive for me. I'm like, then why? Then you shouldn't be playing games. If you can't get them legitly, then you shouldn't be playing the games. And that's what I'm telling all those loser-ass gaming hackers out there. If you just don't want to pay for the game, and you want to get away with shit like that, and it's a crime, then you should pay. One way or another. Computer meltdown, whatever. And I got nothing else more to say about that. It's just a sad situation for these companies. And it hurts a lot of people's livelihoods, and the revenue is not as good as it should be. Or vice versa. So we're going to get into the games news. That is the games news now. Next.
Locomotive, ready for the fight. Gang talk news, gonna set the stage alight. Mr. Mike's got the scoop, he ain't holding back. Dropping bombs on the gaming industry track. Hear the thunder, feel the roar. Gang talk news, gonna settle the score. From E3 to PAX, they got it all. The highs and lows, ready to brawl.
There we go. I got that perfect that time, folks. So, we got a lot of games news to get through, but I am going to try to rapidly do a rapid games news because, frankly, I should be better at giving you a lot of games talk news now a lot more quickly. And yes, I'm not wearing my hoodie anymore and stuff, and I changed it up a bit. And I just got some late breaking news as well. So why don't we just kick it off? So the biggest news, if you didn't know, apparently Nintendo expects the Switch 2 sales to decline year over year, but they still state it's that the device, the Switch 2, is still on pace ahead of the Switch 1 on how it's selling and all that. But frankly, yes, I know the Switch 2 is a brand new device. It just came out holiday of 2025, and we just got into 2026, and it's still brand spanking new. And there's not many games for it and stuff. But the problem is, which a lot of people keep saying and stating, that the price $450 was very high. And that, also there's not as many games and people are a little tighter on budgets and the purse strings for new hardware that's that expensive. And unless if there's that killer app like the upcoming Pokemon games, which do look pretty cool, I gotta say, the new Pokemon game, which I think is coming out in the fall. Don't quote me on that. It looks okay, but even with Donkey Kong Bonanza and stuff like that, and what I felt like looking at it, watching other people play it, that Mario Kart, I don't think that Mario Kart it does anything to me. It does nothing for me. It seems like they went backwards with it, and of course they charge an $80 for the game, which frankly I think is freaking retarded. I gotta say, that's the most dim-witted thing ever, but people buy it, and Nintendo's good at selling it. But there's another big reason why even Nintendo says that their console is going to be selling less and less. And here's one of the main reasons it's going to sell less and less. Nintendo just announced that the Switch 2 and a line in changes in the markets conditions. And of course, I think I talked about this before. The shareholders, I think I talked about this last week. Shareholders want more for their share prices. And basically it was telling Nintendo they got to up the console price. They got to raise the price of the console because apparently, as we are understanding it, the Switch 2 is actually like one of Nintendo's first pieces of hardware that they're actually losing money on, which is interesting because usually Nintendo's making money on all their hardware, and people want to make money on their hardware, and they're saying we might have to try to make it up even more with software sales. But I'm like, well, well, that sucks that your $450+ console is going to be doing that. But the biggest unfortunate news for people that want to get a Switch 2, they are raising the price $50 in the United States, Canada, Europe, all that stuff. They're raising it another. So in the United States, Switch 2 is going up by $50 from $450. I'm just going to say $450 to $500. Let's just say it, not $499, $500, or more. Remember, more, because a lot of our states charge sales tax. So yes, of course, we're going to be spending more on that. And in Canada, Switch 2 rises from $629.99 to $679.99. So wow, Canada's really fucked with pricing and prices and stuff. $500 here. almost $700. Now, Canadian dollars compared to American dollars, they're always higher, but because we can still price them out between our two parties because they're above us and all that. Yeah, that sucks to be a Canadian. I gotta say, dudes, from $629 to $679, so $680 for a Switch 2 up in Canada. Hence why they'll probably be coming down here for them still, even if they are $500 here. And the fact that, you know, almost $700 for a Switch 2, that is freaking ridiculous. In Europe, Switch 2 goes up from 469 or 470 euros to 500 euros. So same kind of difference if you think about it in American dollars and stuff. And of course, in Japan, it's going up a lot of yen and all that stuff. And even the Switch 1's going up in price as well, like crazy. Yeah, that sucks for Nintendo. And that's not a deal maker. That's a deal breaker. Now that it's going up. Now note, they say, at least here in the United States, I think it's for everywhere. Nintendo did state that the price kicks in, the higher price of the Nintendo Switch 2 does kick in September 1st of this year. And that you got time to continue to buy it and get it as well. Also, I guess they have some Switch 2 bundles that are coming where you can get it like a free game or something of your choosing with the Switch that you buy, the Switch 2 that you buy. I don't know what's up with that. I just heard people talking about it. I'm not really reading it here, but people are saying, other games journalists are saying that you'll be able to, when you get your Switch 2, be able to claim a free game of your choosing in your bundle. So I don't know if they're coming out with separate Switch bundles or if these are going to be the same Switch 2s that you could just pick up at a Best Buy or something. I don't know about that, but I guess that's a little bit of a bonus when you get your Switch 2 because you're actually getting a game on top of that and it's not costing you an extra $80. Which means you can pick up Mario Kart World or Donkey Kong Bonanza, Poketopia, or whatever bunch of games are out right now for the Switch 2. Still sucks, and being for most people, which I said 450 when it was originally announced, I was like, yeah, I understand that, $450 for a Switch 2, and everybody's like, oh, that's super expensive. I'm like, yeah, but you got to think about it. Wasn't it like $349 or something for the original Switch originally? If I'm not wrong on that, I don't remember what the original Switch cost. But and I'm trying to look here see if there's anything that shows up off that stuff. But let's see here. Super Galaxy bundled. Oh, they got a Super Galaxy bundle. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm just looking. I'm trying to look and nothing's coming up here. But yeah, I never thought it was that expensive when they said 450 because I kind of knew what kind of technology was going into the Switch 2, and it is a more powerful system and all that with everything else and bigger with the Joy-Cons and all that and everything else inside of it. And I kind of figured, yeah, I'm sure they're not going to be able to keep that nice, cheap Nintendo low price anymore. And going forward, it's just going to be harder and harder for Nintendo to keep that Nintendo cheap, lower pricing going forward into the future because shit, hardware is just going to be more and more expensive nowadays. And unless if they just go back to the beginning again and they go back, oh, fuck it, we're not doing these high-end expensive consoles. We're going back to the original, like an older GameCube-ish type of console and stuff again. I don't know. I don't think Nintendo has any way of getting out of this, especially when gamers out there demand a more premium product nowadays that want to play. They want to be able to play as many games as possible for this stuff, and it's just like now it's going to be $500. That's going to deter a lot more people from buying a Switch 2 going forward, especially after September 1st. It doesn't matter. I don't even think if it unless some people really don't care, but you would think they would have got a Switch 2 already if they wanted to get one. But if they're going to wait till after the price I can get one because of like the next Pokemon game or something like that, I'm like thinking, why'd you wait so long? I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing thing, if it's going to be something that, going forward, they're going to, actually, keep the price at $500. Because they even say, even raising the prices $50 is going to cost them more still to produce these consoles, these Switch 2s, and sell them, and that they're hoping to make most of that money back still off of the games and stuff, which most console makers do. They don't start making money off their consoles until like a new regen or reversioning of their consoles and stuff. But nowadays, we haven't seen that. We've seen a PlayStation 5 Pro come out. That was about it from the PS5. And then for the Series S and X, those just been the same the whole generation. And then you think, well, what are they going to do with the Switch 2? Are they going to make a Switch 2 Lite in the future? Are we going to see a Switch 2 Lite or Switch 2 OLED like I've been talking about and waiting for, that I said, hey, if I'm going to get this thing, I want it either a Switch 2 Lite or OLED version of it. Might not even get that stuff. Who knows? Maybe the Switch 2 is going to be the only handheld, unless if they find a new form. Maybe the Switch 2 Lite would do it because it would be a smaller form factor. It'd be all connected. They don't have to have, add connections or Joy-Con connections to that. It's just all one device and stuff like that. And doesn't need a dock or anything like that. I don't know. I really don't know. Nobody knows because hardware out there is fucked, and a lot of these chip manufacturing and everything else, a lot of that stuff they just don't want to expand. People are keeping it as is, and there's only a few handful of people that make solid state storage out there or memory out there, and I think that sucks. I think there should be more companies and there should be more people around, especially here in the United States. But of course, the United States isn't going to have it because it costs them too much. Even though they can run, they could build the factories here and build, this kind of stuff. They can always just have robots do all the manufacturing and stuff and just have a very few people at those said factories for stuff. But I guess they just don't want to. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell anybody. I still not going to get a Switch 2, even if this impending doom of the $50 price point comes up. It's just nothing that I want for it yet. Like I said, Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to be great. I will definitely get that if I ever got a Switch 2 in the future, which would be a Switch 2 Lite or OLED version of it. And I would be playing all my original Switch games on it, like all my, like the Legend of Zelda, the second one and stuff. But I have a Switch 1, but a little bit more power for the some of those Switch 1 games on the Switch 2 sure would be good, but also, what are we looking forward to? Sure, I said Pokemon's coming again. I'm not too interested in Poketopia. I know it's okay. It's an okay game, but not really interested in that. I would be interested in the new Pokemon games, but what else? I was waiting for a new Mario, and we still haven't heard or seen anything new Mario related. I know a lot of people say, well, it's because the Bonanza teams made was making Donkey Kong Bonanza, not Mario. I'm like, yeah, but they got all these other people and teams inside of Nintendo that they couldn't be making a Mario game, and they not. And it's like, it seems to take Nintendo a very long time to make some of these games, first party games for their system, when they're not doing games like, Call of Duties or Final Fantasies or anything to like Resident Evils and stuff, or Forzas or stuff like that. They're making they're still littler games. They're still that polygonal, like you see Mario over here. They're not making them like ultra realistic. So it's kind of interesting to me that they take so much time, and it takes so much time to get those games out for Nintendo and for their console and stuff for their first parties, when other first parties out there are working with way more graphics and way much more hardware intense type of things compared to Nintendo. But I'm not Nintendo, so I couldn't tell you, but it is bothersome, this whole raising the price, because like I said, could this Switch 2 flatline right after that price hike? Whoever doesn't get a Switch 2, will that amongst others just flatline? And if it flatlines, then it's like game over for a lot of gaming out there, because it's like, well, they're not selling that much. When is the next Switch going to come out down the road, or next console from Nintendo? What's it going to be like down the road? You got a potentially maybe a new Xbox and a new PlayStation in the horizon, but those consoles are going to be pushed back a lot because of course, hardware and storage and stuff like that, and memory. So this isn't good. This isn't looking good, because when you think Nintendo consoles and handhelds and stuff, you're thinking cheap, reliable for younger kids and stuff and families. This is not that. This is getting into Xbox and PlayStation territory, which I said could happen because of the more the more powerful unit that the Switch 2 is. But should that be? What's Nintendo going to plan on doing further? And how could they get and entice people like moi to get into getting a Switch 2 into the future? Which, like I said, would have to be a Switch 2 Lite or Switch 2 OLED. Those would be the only possibilities for this guy, me, Mr. Mike, purchasing one of those. And prices would have to sort of come down in hardware manufacturing. They would have to figure out different ways to manufacture these units and these consoles and make them cheaper, make the whole thing cheaper going forward. Because if not, that's a death sentence. It's been a death sentence from Xbox and stuff, and PlayStation. Eventually, it's going to be a death sentence, especially with the lack of software that Sony's putting out for people to want to play. And Microsoft's going to be kind of okay because they got both the console and the PC loyalists out there, and a lot of their games are very much so, works on most things and devices and whatnot out there. So, yeah, Microsoft might have a little bit of a head lead on there. But if nobody can afford, computers and tech and all that stuff, then it's like, why bother? What what are we talking about here? But I would hate, because of the economy and all that and what's going on around the world, that's what would hurt Nintendo so much to, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. I know a lot of people have been talking about a lot of stuff about it. It's just not good. It's not good, and we're all saying it. But here's the thing: Nintendo's bound to their shareholders. If there's those greedy, grubby shareholders want more money, of course Nintendo's going to eventually cave in and say, okay, here you go. Here's your bonuses here. We got, excuse me, I'm getting a little tired. It's getting a little late. We got to, you know, we got to get our money's worth and stuff. I don't know. I think this is going to do worse, and I bet you the shareholders aren't going to understand or care. It seems like that all over the place. It seems like shareholders don't care and they don't understand at all, which why would shareholders care or understand? Because they only care about good numbers so they can have good profits and stuff like that. They don't really care about how the company's doing for real and what consumers want. They just want that extra ching in their pockets. They're greedy. Yeah, they're greedy. That's why I hate stock markets and stuff. But, even I got a little bit of stock in some stuff, and I've been buying a little bit of stock here and there, but I'm not crazy to go, I need this to get higher and I got to be able to retire in the next year and a half and stuff. It's not me. That's not me. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Maybe when they raise the price and the price hike and all that, like everybody else, maybe when they do that for a bit and then they see, oh, this isn't doing this console any better or helping anybody, maybe they'll lower the price again and maybe they'll announce and you'll get another bonus free game if you buy the console, or I'm just thinking here, or if they, I don't know, they might have to lower that price back down again. Didn't Sony do that for a period of time? They raised the PS5 price and then they lowered the PS5 price, and then people bought more PS5s and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what kind of tactic that is. That's just trying to trick your customers into getting it tactic. Also, like I said, I knew this was going to kind of happen. I didn't know about the price hike, that they would raise the price again, on hardware and stuff and on the console itself. But I knew that Nintendo would get into the realm, and I said this many times. Unfortunately, for gamers like all of us, I knew they were going to get into that realm. But like I said, I didn't know it was this soon that they were going to get into the. I've got to finish my fucking sentence. It's me. Like I said, I'm getting tired, and my sentence just keeps rewinding. But I knew they were going to get into that realm where they were going to end up in the middle between Xbox and PlayStation on how their pricing is going to be, how well their consoles is going to be doing. I just didn't think it would be with this console. I thought maybe, okay, there's going to be a little higher, but people are going to keep buying it because it's only $450. And now they had to raise their price like everybody else. So their console's like $500 or more, depending on where you are at. So they're looking into the barrel just like every other console manufacturer, and it sucks and I'm not just saying it because I want Nintendo to get all this money and my money and everybody's money, your money, my money. No, it just sucks as a gamer that if you want a good system like a Nintendo system and you want to play Nintendo games, that it's going to cost you almost $600 or more dollars, depending on where you live. And want to play video games that it sucks. That's a bullshit thing. And unfortunately, that's how the world is. That's how the world's turn going into. And we'll have to wait and see how the Switch 2 does going forward, especially beyond September 1st of this year. Well, they're not having no GTAs on that. Talking about Nintendo, this guy, Takashi Tezuka, that's what his name is, right? Takashi Tezuka. Apparently he's retiring. He's set to retire. He's retiring. Apparently Takashi Tezuka is one of Nintendo's most high-profile and longest-serving developers. Will retire from the company later this year over a career spanning more than 4 decades. Tezuka has served as the designer, director, and producer of some of Nintendo's best-known games. So he was the director and producer of some of Nintendo's best-known games, including key titles like Mario and the Zelda series. Let's see here. The company has noted that he was retiring on June 26th of this year. Tezuka initially joined Nintendo as a part-time employee in 1984 at the age of 23 when he worked on Punch-Out while he was still at university. He quickly rose through Nintendo's ranks, frequently collaborating with Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto. I guess they were heavy-handed working together on stuff like that. Within a year, Tezuka was serving as assistant director and designer on the original 1985 Super Mario Brothers. A year later, Tezuka directed the first Legend of Zelda game before helming. Let's see here. Sorry, like I said, I'm still tired. Before heading, let's see here. Legend of Zelda game. Yeah, a year later, Tezuka directed the first Legend of Zelda game before helming Super Mario Brothers 3 and Super Mario World, the latter of which saw him help create the character of Yoshi. Yeah, he created Yoshi. And he did a lot of other stuff, and he worked hand in hand next to, like I said, Miyamoto and stuff like that. And basically, he wants to retire now. So I'm guessing, because like I said, what is he now? How old is he? Does it say here how old he is now? Currently, 77. Okay, Nintendo's development salesman Miyamoto, now age 77, is something of okay, that's Miyamoto. So 65. Okay, sorry. He's 65. Miyamoto is 73. So 65, yeah, he's like, yeah, I got a lot of money. I've spent many, many years here in Nintendo having fun creating stuff, and I think it's time for me to go and spend some of my money before I'm dead, 65, gotta live that life. And a lot of people are saying, oh, this is like a big blow to Nintendo because he's one of the two. It's him and Miyamoto doing all this stuff up there in Nintendo land. And I'm like, hey, if all the new creatives can be just like that, I think we'll see. We'll see if there's new stuff. Yeah, I know a lot of the younger people have been taught a lot of stuff over the years, hence why Miyamoto's basically given the reins to the Mario teams and everybody else to do what they got to do and make some great games for Nintendo. And then you got Miyamoto doing theme parks and movies and stuff like that. So this guy retiring, I guess it's time, especially with the rise and fall of the Switch 2 with all the price hikes and stuff like that. Who knows what's gonna go on with that? So I hope he has a great retirement to Suzuka. Another great news for PlayStation Plus heads out there. The PlayStation Plus game catalog for May is out, and it includes a lot of games that have been out for a little while now and not. So PlayStation Plus game catalog for May of this year of 2026 for PlayStation Extra and Plus members, you will be able to play and get and play Star Wars Outlaws for the PS5, Red Dead Redemption 2 for the PS4, Ramble the Mountain King. Okay. Looking here. I said Bramble the Mountain King, all right? The Thaumaturger. What? The Thaumaturger. The Thaumaturger? Is it the Thaumaturger? Is that what it's called? Thaumaturger. The Fagumer, whatever that name is. I don't even know. I can't even say it, folks. I'm sorry. Then you got Flintlock, The Siege of Down, Broken Sword, Shadows of the Templar Reforged, and Otira, The Last Song Standard Edition. Ento, wait, what is it? Enotraya, The Last Song Standard Edition. Holy fucking shit, I can't read some of these things. I don't know, and I just got my eyes checked. But no, I mean, I just can't read them because they sound weird in my mind when I try to read them. And then PlayStation Plus, I guess, regular. Time Crisis is coming for PS5 and PS4. Oh, some of these are coming to only PS5, and some are coming to PS5 and PS4. So, Bramble, the Mountain King, and Broken Sword, the Shadows of the Templar are gonna be. They're gonna be something. Some games, like I said, probably on this list that I'm the most interested in is probably Red Dead Redemption 2 and Star Wars Outlaws. The rest of the games, I don't know. Maybe they're just little fillers and babbles and stuff like that. Let's see here. Also, people have been talking about apparently PlayStation hints at a big potential GTA 6 deal, meaning they're probably going to have some deal in place with them where they can, do most of the game publishing / advertising for the game. Now, note, I don't think it's like an exclusivity deal because that would be I would think that'd be very, 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 very expensive. More so than Sony could want or afford. Excuse me again. I'm just looking at stuff. So, yeah. So let's see here. So apparently Sony may have secured exclusive marketing rights for Grand Theft Auto 6. So, like I said, it's not going to be exclusive. You'll still be able to play it on on the Series X and S, which is where I'm going to be getting it. And of course, PC people are left out in the dust again because Rockstar is weird and paranoia over there is a sue and all that other crazy shit. Why they don't become like a normal game company like most people out there and just put it out for everybody. But I can understand, I guess. No, I can't. I can't understand what Rockstar does because Rockstar does what Rockstar does. I am very interested in Grand Theft Auto 6, but I don't really care about the whole promotion thing. If I see it and it says it's a Sony paid promotion, commercial, whatever, and it goes PlayStation at the end, that ain't going to get me to buy the game for PlayStation. I'm still going to buy it on Xbox. I don't care what people say if they're like, but it's going to look better on the PlayStation. Okay, whatever. It's going to still be playable on my Series X, and it's still going to look beautiful no matter what. Oh, but I spent all that extra money, that $150 on the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's got to look better. Okay, whatever. I'm there to play the game. I'm interested in the open world that they're creating for it and all that, and that the game. I don't care about that. I don't think marketing and stuff like that nowadays is really like it used to be. Like it's going to really get people to purchase this game on a Sony PlayStation or something like that. They, advertising and doing promotions like that don't know what they have done what they could really do in game advertising for people to get people to buy their games and stuff. But And if Sony wants to waste a bunch of truckload of money or something to get, do a lot of marketing for the game for PlayStation, go right ahead. Waste all that cash where you could be putting it into other games you do not have. And me screaming into this mic is probably really blowing out the microphone's voice thing. But yes, Sony, PlayStation, where are your first party games? You got like one coming out, maybe two if you count that Saros game, whatever. But what the fuck? And I bet Microsoft, because they're still in dire straits with the consoles and stuff, they're like, if we paid a lot of money for exclusive marketing rights for Grand Theft Auto 6, would it make any dents in the Xbox ecosystem? Would people buy more Xboxes and stuff if they were out there? A lot of people said not really. I don't know. For me, nothing at all. I think it's just a waste of money and stuff right now. The only thing that can get them to, get those potential extra customers would to be try to get Take-Two to make it an exclusive game to the PlayStation 5 and stuff, which I would be very heartbroken and pissed off at Rockstar for doing so, because I'd be like, well, I guess I'm not playing this game. Then I'll play other games, because they would they make us feel, yeah, because they would make us feel a little I don't know. I have nothing to really care about it. Like I said, it's not gonna get me to buy a PlayStation fucking 5 or 6. Not at all. It's not gonna get me to buy a Sony console. Sony, you had your shot. You blew it. You blew it twice for me. There's no real big games for me to get on there and stuff like that. I'm happy with my PlayStation days, which are mostly behind me. I could still play a lot of the PS1 and 2 games out there via ROMs and emulation. I can play my PS3 games because I still have a PlayStation 3. I think I still have my PS1 somewhere too, so I could officially play PS1 disc-based games, which I do have. You know what? I think I do have a PS1 in my one curio cabinet in the hallway or in the dining room or something like that. So I could have one over there. I just forgot all about it. But anyways, for the PS3, that's probably my last great PlayStation console from Sony, and they got me a little bit to buy a PS4, but then I returned it, even though it was at cost from me to return it, and I never wanted to buy the PS5. That never intrigued me. That made me less wanting the PS5 because of its big bulkiness. It was all curved and bullshit like that. That looked like a giant mess. Didn't want that either. And yeah, stuck with the box from Xbox because it's a box. They look like boxes. That's all they are. Nice little boxes, and they play games. That's all I care about. Not the big traffic score. Yeah, I'm just going out of there. Don't care. Sorry, folks. You can whine and complain and yell at me all you want about, hey, but Grand Theft Auto 5, 6 is gonna be better than the PlayStation 5 and maybe the PS6. And I'm like, as long as the game's fucking good and it plays and it doesn't keep crashing or stuttering or anything on the Xbox, I'll be just fine as well. And then eventually in 5 to 6 years when it comes out on PC and I buy it on PC, I don't give a flying fuck nuts on what all these retards are saying. I play games for the games. I don't play games for the best graphics ever that has the best ray tracing and stuff like that. No. I play my games like a normal adult, seeing what the game offers and having a fun time doing so. Got it? Got it. I don't know how much more I can explain this. I know there's a lot of deeply disturbed individual gamers out there, individuals that claim that they're gamers out there that are really anti everything, still a part of that console space where it's like, it's only PlayStation and nothing else. Now, I do say, oh, I am an Xbox fanboy, which I am, and I still like the Xbox brand, and I think hopefully if Asha Sharma gets it made better and the next console comes out and it gets, and hopefully fingers crossed, is better in a lot of ways and stuff like that. Who knows with pricing and all that, but I'm more on that because not that I don't like Microsoft, which I don't anymore, and the Xbox brand means something to me, and I always with Game Pass get all the games I want to play right away, and it just makes it better. Yeah, a lot better. Enough talking about that. Also, they were talking about here Take-Two, the parent company of Rockstar Games, was talking about which was Strauss Zelnick. He was talking about he was deeply disappointed over the wait for the new BioShock game, which is apparently in development still. In retrospect, we wasted a lot of time and money trying to create something new. And to me, it's like, how fucking hard or how okay, and this is going to be backlash from me. How creatively bankrupt is fucking these developers nowadays? Most of them, not all of them, but most of them. How creatively bankrupt are you that you can't create a fucking BioShock game in 2020 fucking 6 with all the graphics and all the horsepower? Why are people fucking creatively bankrupt nowadays? And that they can't create a game in a series of games and create something interesting and new nowadays. I don't fucking get it. I can think of a lot of different points and storylines that they can create for BioShock fucking 4. And I'm not a game developer. I know what I would love to see and do, but apparently these guys aren't doing the fucking job and getting the job done. Apparently, as they're saying, speaking to GameFile, the executive was asked to perceived troubles at the Canadian studio Cloud Chamber, the company formed to lead development on the next BioShock game. So I guess there's problems going on with this Canadian studio Cloud Chamber. So first off, it's in Canada, so why wouldn't it be in trouble? Because everything's overpriced and in trouble in Canada. And two, yeah, maybe you should have had some veterans on that to get moving on the work. I'm not saying get Ken Levine back to make BioShock 4, but shit, I'm sure there were some people or lead developers and designers you could have taken. And but that's my opinion on that. Yeah. Yeah, I even thought there would have been a new BioShock game. Also, the other game that I have not seen yet or heard anything too much about lately, even though there was some stuff up on the news about that, what do you call it? The other game by Ken Levine, Judas. Now, I guess they showed it off and he talked about how they're not using the latest, greatest game technology to make Judas or anything, but they're making it good enough and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, when's your fucking game coming out, Ken Levine? How long has your game been in development? The same time or even longer than BioShock? Huh? How long is it taking to make that fucking Judas game, Ken Levine? I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy to think. Yeah, let's move on. I'm going to do some more quick rapid fires and then we'll get into some other stuff here. So 62% of Gen Z people no longer buy full price games as audiences shift towards Xbox Game Pass. If that is true, great, because the Xbox Game Pass just went down in price and they do offer a lot of great games for people to buy and play. So if that's true, and because people don't have the biggest pocketbooks that they used to, and nobody wants to spend $70+ on fucking games, even though you still see these deluxe editions, super deluxe editions with a little bit of bonus bullshit, and people buy them. I can fully understand that. I am not Gen Z, but I am one of those people that don't really buy full price games. I get as many games as I can on Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass and stuff like that, or I wait till they go down in price from third parties, or if it's a game that I really, really want day one, then I will buy it full price. But most likely I wait for most of my games, unless if I usually got gift cards or something, then I don't. And then I still don't pay full price because I got the whole gift cards and stuff like that. So yeah, understandable. And I'm sure it's not just Gen Z. I'm sure it's a lot of other people besides Gen Z. Moving on, Stellar Blade 2 won't be published by Sony, potentially hinting at a multi-platform launch. I think I played like 2 seconds of Stellar Blade. And because I think I played it because it was on the PC. Or no, wait, I think I did download it, but I don't know if I played it. I don't know. Don't quote me on any of this stuff. I forgot if I played it or not. Maybe I did. Maybe I played like a couple seconds of it. I think I was like, it's okay. But anywho, apparently Sony won't be publishing the next one, which means if let's see here, the Korean company Shift Up will take on. Okay, hold on. The sequel to Stellar Blade will not be published by PlayStation. So developer Shift Up has confirmed that this could be going to a multi-platform launch for the next coming game. Instead, Korean company Shift Up will take on the publishing duties itself for Stellar Blade 2 or whatever the game ends up being called. And yeah. So the first Stellar Blade launched as a PlayStation 5 console exclusive back in April of 2024. The PC port then launched just over a year later in June 2025. Its arrival was received positively on both platforms, with players saying its gameplay mixed elements of Nier Automata and Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. Okay. So, yeah, okay. Apparently, people liked it. I guess they think it was a good game. I forgot all about it. I think there was a demo. I think I played the demo. I was like, okay, this is okay. But then I never bought it. And yeah, it's Stellar Blade 2 does come out, and it comes out on Xbox or something or Game Pass. I'll definitely play it. I'll definitely get in and play it. You know, I would definitely do that, because if it's going from another studio, like something like Shift Up, which I never heard of, definitely. You can definitely guarantee something like that would go on like a Game Pass or something. And then I'll play it on there and I'll be happy. Or on PC Game Pass if it's still on a PC. So we'll see going forward. Mouse PI for Hire sales update. The stylish first-person shooter dressed up as the 1930s cartoon Mouse PI for Hire has topped 730,000 sales since its launch back in April. Is that okay? Is that a good number to me? You know, I guess it's a good number. I thought it would hit more than a multi-million, but I understand it's a smaller game. Or a smaller game, smaller title, and the only advertisement coming from it is probably from people like me that stream and play games on stuff. And I don't think I ever seen too many advertisements for it out there, but I bought the game. Eventually I will play it because I thought it looked pretty cool. So I did buy it. I did purchase the game. And I eventually will play it, probably on my ROG Ally or something like that. But it looked cool. And according to the publisher, PlaySide confirmed the milestone during the financial presentation to investors, revealing that the publishing and marketing costs have now been recouped. So, yes, because they probably didn't spend that much on marketing and stuff like that. So, I can understand that. So, publishing and marketing costs, yes. I'm pretty sure they didn't spend much on either or for that stuff. So, understandable. And then eventually, if they put it on Game Pass, which I'll be like, fuck me, because I kind of figured this game would probably eventually go on Game Pass, but I'm going to support them and spend a little bit of money because it wasn't that much anyways for the game. Which means that, so going back to it, after they said they recouped all the costs for publishing and marketing, that means that from now on, funds collected from the continued strong sales performance, which they say is strong sales performance. If this was something like a Final Fantasy for Square Enix, they'd be like, it's horrible! We're going bankrupt! No! But for a smaller publisher and people like this, I'm sure it's, like they said, great sales, getting great money and great sales, okay? We'll continue to PlaySide's fiscal 2026 revenue. That's now expected to be around 36 to 38 million European dollars. Okay. Up from $34.7 million. The upgrade primarily reflects stronger than expected unit sales and outgoing wishlist conversion of Mouse PI for Hire across PC and console platforms. Okay, so if they're saying it's doing very well and stronger than they thought, great. and has been achieved despite the delayed launch of the title and the absence of major external project wins during the year to date, the publisher stated. Okay. I didn't even know this game was coming out until it was coming out. So, like I said, good on them and good on for this game, Mouse PI for Hire. Like I said, when I get a chance to play it, I will hopefully have some really good fun with it. You remember that little company called GameStop and CEO Ryan Cohen's $56 billion offer that he doesn't have any of that money anyways or no way of paying it was to take over, purchase and take over eBay? Well, eBay rejected GameStop's and CEO Ryan Cohen's $56 billion offer, calling it neither credible nor attractive, and saying that it was basically a slap in the face of eBay, even though, you know, eBay apparently isn't doing so hot. I didn't know that. It looks like they're doing okay to me, but okay, whatever. But yeah, just like what people were saying, I guess Ryan Cohen was on some news talk show on the news and stuff, and they were asking him how is he going to pay for all this, and that where's he going to get this money to the 56 billion and all that to take buy eBay and stuff, and he had no answer. And they're like, okay, and he looked like a jackass on TV. Apparently, I saw that a little bit of that, and I was like, well, if somehow GameStop was able to pay 56 billion for eBay with their meme stock and all that, okay, good on them. I will leave eBay immediately after that would happen. But you know, not everybody's dumb. Not everybody's that dumb. And eBay states that eBay is strong, resilient business that delivered meaningful results over the past several years. We have sharpened our strategic focus, strengthened our execution, enhanced our marketplace and seller experience. Not so much that eBay, but okay. Are consistently returned capital to shareholders. Oh, so maybe I should get some shares in eBay then. eBay's board is confident that the company, under its current management team, is well positioned to continue to drive sustainable growth, execute with discipline, and deliver long-term value for our shareholders. Maybe I'll have to go and buy some eBay stock now. And he goes on, and he talks about how that, the board, with the support of its independent advisors, has reviewed your proposal and determined to reject it. We have concluded that your proposal is neither credible nor attractive. We have taken into account such factors as 1, eBay standalone prospects, 2, uncertainty regarding your financial proposal, 3, the impact of your proposal on eBay's long-term growth and profitability, 4, the leverage, operational risks, and leadership structure of combined entity, like your structure over at GameStop there that kind of sucks. The resulting implications of these factors on valuation, and 6, GameStop's governance and executive incentives, which, like I said, they all suck. GameStop sucks. I haven't been in a GameStop for a long time. I still miss the original EB games, but I've never been in a GameStop a long time because they suck. They don't got any real good things going on there. They don't got any real good deals. They're eventually going to go under. Eventually. They just suck ass. They're a horrible company. Now, they got nothing really. They're not trying to do anything good for the gaming community industry. And then they want to try to take over eBay so they can, with all those collectibles that they try to collect from stupid people to give them like store credit to stuff like that. And they want to go and turn it around and turn it into a eBay business on top of eBay, and thinking they can make eBay even bigger and better. That's just a joke. That's just a freaking joke. Even I knew that. But I was like, ooh, I wonder if eBay was going to bother to take that. And then you remember he even threatened basically eBay. The CEO of GameStop said, hey, if they don't take our offer seriously, we'll gonna force a buyout of them or something. I'm like, how? How? People thinking that they're so powerful and good, and then fuck GameStop. Fuck that company. But don't fuck this company. This company's usually pretty good. Capcom. Apparently, not just making Resident Evil games and all the other great games that they've been making over the past year or so, or years. Capcom lists Dead Rising as one of its potential leading brands that it is nurturing. But does that mean that we're gonna get a Dead Rising 5? Well, I heard amongst the many people, now this is rumored, that they were currently working on a new Dead Rising game. I don't know why they're calling it Dead Rising 5 because we had 3. Okay, right. Okay, because we did have 1 and 2. 3 was the good one that everybody hated that I liked on Xbox One when it came out as an Xbox One exclusive at first title. I loved Dead Rising 3. Dead Rising 4 kind of sucked. It was good, but then it was really boring because it missed a lot of the crazy people. It left out all the good stuff that made Dead Rising. It was good at first, and then it just got really boring over time with Dead Rising 4. Dead Rising 5, I would want them to have more of, maybe bring back some more of the original 2 Dead Risings, but add Dead Rising's 3's point of view as well, where I could just go around and not worry about any time things going on as well, because that's what I loved about Dead Rising 3. I can go back into Dead Rising 3 again now and go back and play more Dead Rising 3. I love Dead Rising 3. I wish there was more of a multiplayer Dead Rising 3, but I shouldn't even talk about that because then we'll get into trouble with that. But yeah, I heard inclinations that they were talking about eventually bringing back Dead Rising again and making more Dead Rising and stuff like that. And I hope that's true. You know, I know Microsoft originally was helping them with Dead Rising 3 and all that because they were like, they didn't know what they wanted to make it. And I guess hopefully it'll come back because it's unlike the Resident Evil games, which I don't really care for. And I haven't really played the new ones yet, which I do own 2 of them. I don't own the recent one, but Requiem, but I do have the other Dead Rising games, which I will probably have to mod to be able to play them more for my liking. But I never really played one of those, but a Dead Rising I will play. If it ain't like 4, which 4 was like so apparently one of the so-called Dead Rising people. So the series returned with a well-received remake of the original Dead Rising in 2024, sparking hope that either a Dead Rising 2 remake or Dead Rising 5 will follow. However, some fans feel like the series has failed to capture audiences or make enough of the impression to be worthy continuing. I guess this person stated, Dead Rising, seriously? The franchise should stay dead after how much of a disaster Dead Rising 4 was. And I am not going to disagree because when I actually did a long time ago on my former GG2 cast reviews thing, when I actually wrote some game reviews and stuff like that, I said Dead Rising 4 was the most boring, lame excuse for a Dead Rising game ever. It was bad. I gave it, I think, 1 out of 5 stars or something, or 2 out of 5 stars. Dead Rising 4 was the drop. So it was like Tomb Raider 3 when they did that 3rd Tomb Raider game of the newer Tomb Raider games, and they fucked that up as well with that one. So obviously, I did like how it was in the holiday Christmas themed and all that. They just didn't have any of the crazies and stuff. If they would have had or put in the crazies and did some more stuff with that stuff, Dead Rising 4 would have been great, but they didn't. They fucked that shit up. And I think it was because of budget cuts and all that. And then they kept out the crazies and the cool backstories and stuff. And that's why Dead Rising 4 became what it was. Otherwise, I didn't mind the gameplay of Dead Rising 4. It was just boring. However, some are championing its return and hoping that Dead Rising 5 will come to fruition. We used to pray for times like this. Maybe Microsoft and Xbox will go back and pay for Dead Rising 5. You never know. And then you got a lot of the characters in Dead Rising 5. Yeah. And I'm looking at like these polls on the leaderboards on IGN here, and the poll states that most people just want a new Dead Rising 5. Only 15% of people didn't want a new Dead Rising, and I guess 23% of the people wanted to do like a Dead Rising 2 remake, which they could still do. But Dead Rising 5 is 62% on here with people wanting a new Dead Rising 5, which I am with them. I would like to see a new Dead Rising game. If they do it in a way, they could do it in a way like the Resident Evil games and stuff. Maybe do a crossbreed, Dead Rising with, with Resident Evil a little bit. Maybe do that. That'd be interesting. You bring the Resident Evil characters and people into the Dead Rising universe, put them together, you could have some really good shit with that. I would really enjoy something like that. Wouldn't you? I would. I would definitely like that. They could do that, but keep out the puzzly bullshit from the Resident Evil stuff. But bring in some of the characters, bring in some of the story, have a crossbreed of it, and be like, yeah, I'm Chuck Green. I'm whoever they want to get, Jill Valentine or anybody, Leon Kennedy will come back, and that'd be great. Him and shit, what's his name? Not Tom Green, but the other guy. Fuck, I forgot his name. He was the main something West. What's his name? Oh shit. There we go. I had to Google search because my brain is broken right now because I'm so tired. Frank West. Get Leon Kennedy, Jill Valentine, Frank West, a couple others from, both franchises. Bring them all together. Make a really cool, fun Dead Rising meets Resident Evil crossover game. Tons of zombies. You can kill them, build weapons, do stuff. Oh, that'd be so cool. Bring in the Umbrella Corporation, bring in whatever military and governmental shit going on the Dead Rising side, because that was all governmental and stuff. And that'd be so awesome. There you go, Capcom. Capcom. Sorry. There you go, Capcom. I just helped you create the next Dead Rising game for Dead Rising 5. A crossover with Resident Evil. Pay me lots of money for that and bring it out soon. Forza Horizon 6 is only officially playable now for those who bought the pricier premium edition, but they're still putting up big numbers on Steam apparently. So that's out now. I'm waiting for Tuesday to play it. I can wait a few days and not spend almost $60 for the premium edition, even though you do get extra cars, extra this, extra that. But apparently, early access, let's see here. Those who own the pricier premium edition have already started taking advantage of the early access, which launched on PC, Xbox App, Steam, and Xbox Series X and S today, May 15th, despite the bundle's $120 cost. Well, isn't it also the $60 one also the one that you get that as well, the early gameplay? I thought it was. They're saying the $120 one is, which shit, if you're paying $120 to play this early, good for you. I'll wait till it's on Game Pass. Thank you. Hence another great way to have Game Pass. But if I had to buy it, I would wait to get it, not spend extra money on that as well. The only time I did that is when they had it for like 20, I think it was $20 or something like that. 20, 30 bucks. I think it was 20 bucks. I think I got it for 20 bucks for that premium, and they gave me all the cars and stuff. That was for Forza Horizon 4, I think, like that. And that was the only time I did it. And then they raised it. And it's like, well, you got to spend an arm and a leg to get this. You got to spend an amount of 2 games to get this game early and play it early. So I'll wait. But apparently the Steam version has already reached an impressive peak of 172,093 users. Also, via the Steam database is now hovering around 160,000 players as of the IGN articles publication. So people are playing it. Let's see here. like I said, I'm gonna wait till it comes out, and then I'll play it. I'm gonna do my first gameplay of it this week, which is tomorrow, and we'll have fun. Let's see here. Yeah, the base Forza Horizon 6 experience launches across PC and Xbox Series X and S on May 19th. Costs $69.99. Or you could just get Xbox Game Pass. Like I said, I'll play that on Tuesday. I'll do my first gameplay of it. And then Friday is going to be a nice stream, Forza Horizon stream this week. So you guys could we'll get a break from me playing just nothing but Assassin's Creed Shadows. So there you go. Also, they were talking about the developer for Forza Horizon 6 was talking about, because people were still asking, why are certain shrines, temples, and cherry blossom trees are indestructible? Or it says here, why are shrines, temples, and cherry blossom trees are indestructible? Well, if people are really up their own asses and you're not into culture and stuff like that, you would know that all those things in Japanese culture are basically almost unforgivable, and letting those things, they don't want to see those. It would be very, very disrespectful to destroy any of those stuff. That's why they don't allow that. That's why they didn't put it in the game, because they didn't want to, they didn't want people, the Japanese and Japan, getting all upset over us delinquents driving over the shrines, temples, and cherry blossoms. And of course, the Duke people, the ones that are not supposed to go along like, oh, it's in the game, I'm going to do this in fucking real life, because, you got those fucking morons as well. If they see people driving through cherry blossom trees and temples and shrines, don't you think you're going to get some fucking jackasses over in Japan doing the same fucking thing? Yes, because monkey see, monkey do, because these people are monkeys and they should be locked up or euthanized right away, because those people do not deserve to be around if they do stuff that they see in video games and whatnot or anything, because they're just fucked up crazy people that are fucking assholes. Yeah, that I can understand that. And then you had this one jackass on the show notes here, and this is another IGN article, just letting you know. And then you had the one person in the conversation say, "Oh, that's no fun. I can't run over stuff." Okay, fuck you. The other one says, "Oh, I understand on one hand that this could be that this is the thing, but it's really annoying for a gameplay perspective." Well, then don't fucking play the game, motherfuckers. I'm sorry to say. A lot of games, like even in the last Forza Horizon, you couldn't do certain things and go through certain things and crash and drive over certain things, or in certain. You just got to respect other people's cultures, and that's what they're doing. They're respecting certain things in their culture. You can ride over other things and crash through fences and trees, I'm sure, and bushes, but you just can't do it. They got some sacred stuff. It's the same thing when I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. You can't do certain things to certain things in that game because it's disrespectful, and I understand that. And if we are a civil society, game playing society out there, and we want to prove ourselves out there that we're a civil society that plays video games, then we don't need to do stupid, rambunctious stuff like that. Enough said. So Discord Nitro now includes a starter edition of Xbox Game Pass with more than 50 games. So, that's the basic version of Xbox Game Pass. Apparently also, if you're eventually, I don't know how soon it's going to come, but eventually Xbox will also have the Game Pass side, will have it where you can get a Discord Nitro membership, I guess, down the road. Like they'll let you get a free Disco Nitro membership down the road, because Discord and Xbox are officially announced, a Game Pass, partnership and stuff. They're doing a partnership. And there's a lot of stuff talking about this partnership for the whole, if you, get Discord, pay for Discord Nitro, you get the Game Pass side of the starter side. But and then they add all these orbs and all this other bullshit and stuff like that. But on the Xbox side, they're supposed to also give you eventually a Discord Nitro membership. So if you pay for whatever, I'm thinking it's going to be for Game Pass Ultimate, I guess. I don't know if they're going to do the premium Game Pass, but Game Pass Ultimate, I'm guessing you'll get Discord Nitro eventually as your free thing to do, free membership or whatever. Okay, fine. I don't use Discord, but if it's going to give me a free membership to Discord, maybe I would do it because I don't want to pay for it. But I would rather have that Netflix subscription that they were touting us before in earlier news where they were talking about it, where Asha Sharma and people were talking about maybe we might give you a Netflix subscription with your Game Pass Ultimate and stuff subscription. I'm like, yeah, give me that instead. Which reminds me, I got to get a Netflix subscription for which, like I said, I'm doing this ahead of time, but I need it for Saturday because there's that Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano fight going on, and I might want to watch that. Other two last minute news that just popped up here, which is pretty big. This is both on IGN announced. Did these two articles. First one, Xbox's cloud gaming controller leaks, and I guess it's a little small controller. It looks like something you would see from a Nintendo or Nintendo Switch or something like that. Like one of those original Wii controllers or something, it reminds me of. But it has the Xbox logo in the middle. It has all the gamepad looks weird. It's like a Super Nintendo's Super Nintendo controller, it looks like. And it has all the buttons you would want in this little controller. And it's an Xbox controller, and it's a cloud controller. So apparently this leaked Xbox cloud gaming controller, and this is from a Brazilian regulator, features 2.4 to 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, rechargeable 500 milliamp battery, uses Bluetooth 5.3, USB-C, bumpers, triggers, D-pad, and pairing button. So you could pair this and probably also use this on your console and maybe PC, I'm guessing. I think this looks really interesting. If this and they're talking about, they're talking about like things like, oh, how about if the console market becomes something too hard to do in the future, like if these consoles are becoming too expensive for people and nobody wants to buy the new premium Xbox console, the Helix or anything else, these controllers, and they're, of course, Xbox's cloud gaming service or remote play service, if you're like me and you got an Xbox Series X and stuff, and right now, you'll be able to play these games on smart TVs and mobile devices and stuff still, because you'll have this little controller. It's supposed to be better latency and stuff with this controller and all that. And they were talking about this a long time ago, about talking about how they were, and we heard about this, that they were going to make a dedicated streaming gaming controller. I thought it was just going to be like the regular, and I better get it out for you video people watching the podcast and not listening, but I thought they were going to get one of these regular Xbox controllers, like the one in my hand right here, and that they were just going to put the guts and like extra guts and stuff in this controller, because you got plenty of room in this controller. They can put in the Wi-Fi and all the extra stuff in here and make this your portable, streaming controller as well. I would hope they would do that too. That'd be cool. But making something that small and interesting, I don't know. It looks interesting though. They got a white version and they got a black version. And even though I am not too, I like my controller and how to hold it there, I would like to get something like this, because this would be pretty fucking funny and neat to just own one of these things, especially if they sold them for like $40 or something, because it doesn't look like it would be super expensive, but I could be wrong on that. It does look like the trigger and bumper buttons are a little too close. They're like really thin and close, so I don't know how well that would work, but it looks okay. I would not I'm not gonna call it out yet until I get one in my hands, if they even get these out. But yeah, that would be interesting. That'd be interesting. I don't know if everybody would like that. I bet you a lot of people would say, why don't you just put this technology into a regular Xbox controller? Which I would also say, why not? The next Xbox Series controller or whatever, you could put this technology in this regular controller over here that I got. What? Why would you have to create a new controller to do that? I know this would appease to people that want to put this in their pockets or their purses or their backpacks and stuff, and they don't want to put like this controller in their bags and backpacks and stuff like that. Even though I could put this in my pocket right now, I could put it in my shorts right now. I'm doing it right now. It's nice. It does feel weird. I'm sure these would feel a lot easier in there, but I could do it. You could put this in your purse or jacket or backpack. I have done it many times before, but I can understand why they're creating something like this. But I would hope they would also have this kind of tech in a regular controller if you just want a regular controller, because I know a lot of people would probably have a little harder time playing on one of these types of controllers, unless that they're really good at playing like Nintendo and Super Nintendo games on a NES and Super NES controller, if it's that small. But that's going to be interesting. And if it comes and they have it for sale and it works good, I'll consider maybe getting one and trying it out and showing it off or something, because I would be interested. We don't know when if this is going to even come out or whatever. It's just been a leaked thing and we're just seeing it now. But if it does become something I can pre-order, I will pre-order one and get one to play because I'm interested in it. Hell of a lot better looking than that Steam controller that came out that people are interested in. I got to tell you, a lot hell of a lot better. And plus, you could play a lot of games with this controller. And then finally, not ending the Xbox controller talk, there's also an Xbox Elite 3 controller that has leaked online as well. So this is going to be a new series controller. It's the Xbox Elite 3. It's going to be a series controller. It's going to have all the buttons just like your series controller like I have. It's going to have all the buttons, your shares, your hamburgers and all that. It's going to do all that stuff. It's going to do all the stuff that the other Xbox Elite controllers do. It's also going to be coming with a back removable rechargeable battery. So the back battery is a rechargeable battery. I wonder if you could put regular batteries into this. Probably, right? I don't think they're going to change that. But yeah, it's supposed to be a new lower latency. Let's see here. Let's see. I'll just read this. Might as well. It's a quick article, and this is also on IGN if you want to read it. So, but you don't have to if I'm going to read it for you. So, Xbox's Elite 3 controller is leaked ahead of its summer showcase event. Xbox's cloud gaming controller also leaked online, which I just talked about, showing a compact version of the typical Xbox controller designed for those who want to stream their games to a TV, computer, or mobile device. It's a cool bit of gear that will likely be sold at a cheaper price than the regular controller, which, like I said, I will pre-order one and try that out if it's interesting to play and it works. Making gaming more accessible and more affordable for those who cannot afford or get a console. However, Xbox is still catering to its hardcore premium fans as well. A new leak from Technoblog reveals the look of the brand new Xbox Elite 3 controller. The Elite 3 has a sleek all-black appearance with a few bits of silver on the D-pad and analog sticks. The most notable change from the previous version are the two scroll wheels at the bottom of the controller. Oh, yeah, I see they got scroll wheels on the bottom of the controller there. Okay. Right next to the mic jack, some have speculated that these scroll wheels may add extra inputs to your controller, possibly for games that benefit from mouse controls. Okay. However, they may also be just volume knobs. Maybe they'll allow you to easily balance the game audio and chat audio. That would be awesome as well. Or something along those lines. Or maybe they're customizable and you can do whatever you with those wheels. You never know. If they were for gameplay, they're in a bit of an awkward position that wouldn't make them terribly convenient for frequent use. Yes, but they'd be interesting if you can use it for other things. Like if you want to control, maybe you want to scroll through the Xbox lists and stuff, and they go zzz, 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 and make it easier for you to scroll through your Xbox games list and stuff on your Xbox or something. Maybe they could be for multi stuff like that. Who knows? Beyond that, the Elite 3 is also reportedly sports a removable rechargeable battery and a new pair button that allows you to switch between local play and cloud mode. The latter allows for lower latency, making it a more seamless and smooth experience when playing cloud games. Okay, so this Elite controller is also going to have cloud play. So there you go. I was just talking about having cloud play built into a regular controller. Well, now note this is an Elite controller, so it's not a actual regular controller yet. But I'm sure they'll also have regular controllers with the cloud mode as well. Making it more seamless and learn to play clouds. The Elite series of controllers are for the hardcore gamers who like a fine-tune and customize their controllers with adjustable buttons and triggers, allowing for more control and precision of how you play your games. They've been well received by fans, but been a while since we've seen a new one. As the Elite Series 2 was released back in 2019, it's unclear if there were any new big notable features of the Elite 3. But it wouldn't be so surprising if we hear more details about this in the near future, like the Xbox Summer Showcase being held in June. Which also games like Gears of War ED will be shown at. Let's see here. This is hardware that was greenlit under the previous leadership, and stuff like that, which they were talking about. And yeah, I'm interested in all this. And I used to have an Elite controller back in the day, the Xbox Elite controller. I gave it up because I was like, it's too much of a controller for me. That's what I was saying to myself. It was too much of a controller for me. I just really, I just really did not continue with that controller, and I gave it up. And then I just went back to my regular controllers because I'm like, well, I didn't have to feel like, oh, this is a $120 controller in my hand. I don't, and I have a little tendency of whipping the controller or doing something really naughty with the controller. And I'm like, it's probably better for me if I just have a regular cheap $39 or less controller in my hand than this Elite. And what was it? Was it the sticks or something that was not working as well? I don't know. I forgot what it was, but I sold it because I thought it was just too much for me, and I never went back to it. It was nice at the beginning, but I'm like, I do not mind a regular controller like this. I don't need an Elite controller. A regular controller like this, see-through, blue, sexy. I'll have this controller. This controller is beautiful. I think I paid $40 for this controller. It's beautiful. It's enough controller for me for what I need. And then if you just give me like one of those little controllers for cloud gaming, I'll be on my way. Or if you have a regular controller that does gaming, I probably won't buy that in Elite 3, but I'll buy one of those streaming little controllers. Or if they got a regular controller that's going to have streaming capabilities in it, I'll buy that as well. But I don't know. I think the little streaming controllers that have just leaked looked pretty cool. I think those look pretty cool. The Elite, that's for people that are very, very picky about their gaming and stuff like that. They're like the Jeff Gersmans of the world and stuff, where he likes his special PlayStation 4 or 5 or whatever PlayStation DualShock, whatever bullshit controller he likes. And I'm like, whatever, dude. Go get over it. You can play on any controller. You've been playing games for how long now, and you can't handle. I don't know why certain people have problems with controller. If it was a really weird and awkward controller, I can understand, but most of these controllers are just basic, simple things. I'm not too picky on my controllers. Like I can play on the Switch Joy-Cons controllers. I love my Xbox controllers the most. The PlayStation ones, they were a little bit too small because they shrunk them a bit. That was a little bit harder on me. If they were more regular size, like the PS2 controllers and stuff, I like those better, and the PS3 controllers. But otherwise, I'm not too picky. I'll still play with them, But anyways, yeah, that's it for the games news. Um, right now, I got to get to sleep. It's getting late here. I hope you enjoyed my podcast. Like I said, I will hopefully keep you guys updated. I will try to get something sooner than later out for if I do a little giveaway contest and stuff, and I'll have the rules up and all that, and I'll have them up on my website and stuff like that. But yeah, I am really hoping that I can get more subscribers to my site and to listen to the podcast, watch my videos and stuff. That's all I care about. Like I said, I do it for fun, but I'd like more people to join in and celebrate not just my 40th birthday, but celebrate the website, celebrate what I do, and have fun. That's all I want. And yeah. And also, I hope everybody's gonna have fun with all these games. Like I said, when I take my staycation and stuff coming up, I will definitely be playing some of that Final Fantasy Rebirth. I'll be playing Forza Horizon 6 and all that stuff, and just having fun. Games are going to be harder to be made out there. You're not going to see as many super big games out there from first party publishers or whatever, mainstream publishers. Grand Theft Auto is going to wipe out half the gaming industry because nobody's going to be playing or buying anything else after Grand Theft Auto for a little while. So get ready for that. That's in November? Yeah, October, November sometime. But otherwise, it's still looking okay in the games industry. It's just, hardware expense. Like I said, I just told you about the Switch 2 going up in price. Now Nintendo's going to be on more equal playing fields. The Apple of the video game world is going to be on more so equal playing fields or close to it than with Microsoft's Xbox and PlayStation, Sony's PlayStation. So we're going to see when prices go up and see if any of these people are still going to be sticking around doing the same nostalgia stuff or whatever, and see what happens sales wise and all that, because nobody's safe. Nobody's safe from price hikes and all this stuff. We just got to get more stuff made, better, more open. Somebody's got to open up more chip fabs and stuff. Come on. Let's open up more chip fabs. I know it's like, oh, but if we do, then it floods the market and then they got to tone it down. And it's like everybody's always buying solid state chips and storage and memory and stuff. I don't understand why there's such a problem out there and why it's only these little companies. I understand that it's cheaper labor and that's where all the materials comes from, and then to ship it to us, and then now we just don't want to pay for it. And then you got wars, you got all the shipping and all this products, and then China's still trying to knock everything down and doesn't want everybody to get their rare earth minerals and stuff, and so on and so on. And it's just like, like I said, hopefully my computer here and my gaming console and everything I got here will last and last and last for as long as it's needed till things calm down out there, and then we can figure it all out again and then get back into buying new consoles. I can build a new computer down the road again, and but I'm happy with my computer. I'm happy with that. Happy with what I got. I'm happy with my ROG LAX. I'm happy with my Xbox Series X and S. I'm happy with all the games that I get to be able to play, and happy with that. It's a joyous time. And I'm going to keep it that way. So thank you all for joining me. I am Mr. Mike, saying if you need to talk to me, if you want to chat, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I'm on social networks. That's all up there at Twitch. I'm on. I can't speak anymore. If you want to visit my website, it's OldFreakyGamer.com for all videos, podcasts, so much more stuff, and eventually the contest / giveaway thing. I stream on YouTube and Twitch every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm on Twitter X at OldFreakyGamer. I'm on BlueSky at OldFreakyGamer. .bluesky.social, whatever it is, bsky.social. I have an email address, oldfreakygamer@gmail.com. If you want to go and email me something, go ahead. I do not give you spam or anything else because I just don't got time to spam people. So, send me in your comments or questions, or you can comment on any of my videos, including this podcast video. Then it goes back to me, and then I can comment back to you, and then we could talk about some cool games and stuff, or if you're interested in the giveaways and stuff like that, and blah, 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 blah. And let's have fun. Let's keep cordial. Let's keep friendly. Let's have fun. And everybody, I am Mr. Mike, and this has been the GamezAttack podcast. And I am saying game on, game hard, world conquest. I am pushing this gaming button, and this show is now game over. That's right. Game over.
Game over.